the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Sorry, Rubio music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody. That's right, welcome to it. We're almost there.
We're working on it.
End of the week.
More than halfway.
Oh, so close.
It's inches away.
Yeah. And
we're donkey lipping it at this point.
And we got a weekend of warmness ahead too, so it's like it's all good.
You ever seen that?
What's that?
Kind of like not what you're talking about right now, but you ever seen held a carrot just slightly out of a donkey's reach, and what they'll do is they'll try to grab at it with their lips.
Okay.
Yeah, I call the term. I've heard the term called donkey lipping.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. We're donkey lipping the weekend right now.
Okay.
It's just right there.
Gotcha.
We're just trying to reach out and grab that carrot with our lips. We're donkey lipping the weekend.
Okay. I've never heard that term.
I want it on a shirt. Thursday, donkey lip the weekend.
Hey.
It's close.
Why not?
But we're not quite there. Can't taste that carrot yet.
Yeah, I think we could get a shirt going.
There you go.
Donkey Lip Thursday.
Donkey lip the weekend. No, it's just Thursday, then donkey lip the weekend.
I've never heard the term. I don't know why I'm fascinated by this, but on my Facebook wall this morning, somebody shared a video of this guy just basically making a lean-to, his own little, like, hobbit, little survival hut in the woods.
Right.
But this man, let's just say, you know the story, Three Little Pigs?
Uh-huh.
And there's the straw pig, there's the stick pig, and the brick pig.
Right.
This guy's making the brick version of his. Wow. I'm pretty sure after what I'm just like they showed like a quick 30-second of the quick speed up of him making it. Mm-hmm. But now like for the last 10 minutes, it's just been on in the background, and I've been watching like him go through the process of making this thing.
Sure.
And it's so riveting to watch. And it's so I don't know why, but like he just made this chimney out of like some rocks and mud.
Is it a live stream or is this?
No, it's a video.
Okay.
He just a survivalist or something.
And this is like literally just like a lean-to. It's just a.
Well, he dug it out and built like a whole, like he's got sticks and rocks and made like chimney and I think the thing's got running water. I thought.
What?
Like he dug a well.
Dude,
it's pretty impressive.
The people that do those earth homes.
Yeah.
What are they called? I can't remember.
It looks like a hobbit hovel.
I can't remember the term.
What do they call those?
The ones that are like built into the ground.
Yeah.
Like tires and stuff. Those places. It was just on the tip of my tongue.
Don't they got them up north?
They have up in north New Mexico.
Repairs. Well, this guy's kind of doing that, but he's making it like, oh my goodness, look at that thing. I'd live in that thing at this point. I'm like, I could see me living comfortably in there. Anyway.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, once you Earthship, once you get it to where you like it,
yeah,
I think that's it. But yeah, Earthship. These things are amazing. If you've never seen Earthships, I fully recommend go check them out online. They're just built into into sections of a cave or just out of tires and stuff, and it's completely all natural. It's insane.
He's grilling steaks in there. That's
what?
awesome.
Come on.
He's got it.
Okay, this is something that has struck me as incredibly interesting. There's a trend on TikTok.
Yeah.
I know you don't watch TikTok necessarily, so you probably haven't seen it. But there's a trend on TikTok, and it's equal parts like I'm fascinated by it, and it's also calming and soothing. But I can't. It doesn't completely make sense to me.
Right.
And what it is people going out to like the middle of like a forest or like in a mountain, like right next to a stream.
Okay.
With a cutting board.
Okay.
And a bunch of food, and then just like cutting vegetables up and making like cooking a steak.
Okay.
Like there's one guy who will.
So they like go camping, but instead of camping, they're just cooking.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not. I don't know if they're camping or what, but it's just them out sitting out next to the wilderness or whatever.
Okay.
Like with one of those like gigantic Alaskan blades.
Okay.
Just cutting up potatoes and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then making their steak, and it's soothing. It's I like it, but it's very odd, off-putting. This could take you a long time if every time you want to eat, you just randomly go next to a stream and chop.
Maybe they want to be in nature, but they like to cook, and so they're thinking this is like out. Do they cook open fire and all that?
Yeah, it's like there's different ones. There's like one guy that he'll like somehow he'll take like a tree, like a trunk of a tree, and he'll make it into a makeshift stove or like smoker thing, and then he'll cook it on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with all that. I think what it is, excuse me,
That's good. All right,
little phlegm there.
all right, buddy, happens sometimes.
Well, I think this goes back to the dawn of the metrosexual. Like, you know how there's like a vibe there for a little bit, and it still is kind of, but it's less. Where all these dudes want to feel like dudes, so they grow beards and wear flannel, even though they really don't want to do manly things. Or they do one manly thing and it's like craft beer.
It's the bespoke generation, basically.
Yeah. I think this is just an extension or an evolution of that.
And actually, here's the thing: have you ever seen the commercials for those bespoke post, the box you can get?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say bespoke. So I'm at the same time with that. It's like that seems kind of silly, but some really cool stuff in there, man.
Yeah.
I would love to. There, like the first one I ever saw was it's like a scrimshaw kit. It's like how to just start making your own scrimshaw, which is, I guess, you take it's like a stone and you carve you etch like a picture into a stone, and that's called scrimshaw.
Okay.
It's like the sailors used to do it, and the first like bespoke post I ever heard was you can get a scrimshaw kit. I'm like, that's silly. Actually, I do need a hobby.
It's fancy chia pet.
Yeah. And
that's
now,
all this is.
And now there was one I saw the other day. It's like you can how to smoke your own drink, a drink smoker. Like, so you can like add flavor of smoke into your drinks.
These are all hipster chia pet moves.
It really is. Like, it's really like hipster nonsense, but I'm still kind of fascinated by it. Mm-hmm. Everything with that weird like beige leather color to it.
And this guy's no different. The guy I'm fascinated by with it's the same thing. It's the guy with the beard and he sits in the woods and he makes stuff. It's really, okay. It's entertaining, but I don't know. I think it's a whole thing of that. It's like I think these are men that want to be men, but we live in a world where we can't be men anymore. Mm-hmm. So we go in the middle of this woods,
Everybody
get a
knows.
big machete, and make salad.
Everybody knows if you really want to feel like a man, you enter women's swimming competitions. That's what I've heard. That's what my daddy always said.
Oh, there's so many memes.
My dad was a weird guy. Dude, there's so many memes. It's like
yeah, that one. They went to DEFCON 12.
we might be getting close to shark jump territory on that one because there's been a lot.
I still laugh.
Oh, I'm not, but it's.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to replay an interview we had earlier this week with James and Troy from Celebrate Recovery. Mm-hmm. They joined us to talk about a big event they're having at Grace Community Church on April 2nd. A night of inspiration with Hosanna Wong. So we're going to play that interview in just a few minutes. Later in the show, next hour, about 8:15 or so, Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell, will join us, give us an update on what's going on in and around the city. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Kathy Lay's going to join us. She kind of wears multiple hats for the city. Her Keep Roswell Beautiful hat, which we'll talk a little bit about, I guess, what's coming up. Spring trees.
Yep.
Sapling time is coming up again, so we'll talk a little bit about that with her. And,
Planting season.
And I imagine a little bit of the community volunteer stuff that she also does with the city, too. So she'll join us about 9:15 this morning, and I think we'll talk some trees.
Very good.
Yes.
Yep.
We're going to the trees, or the saplings at least. plus,
I'm going to get sappy with you.
That's right. If you're a sap, you're bad. But a sapling, you're okay.
And as we decided yesterday, crusty is just always bad.
Yeah, crusty. If you're crusty, I think that's going to be my new, you crusty.
You crusty. You crusty.
Like in the 90s there was a hot minute where people were, you nasty. And that was kind of, you crusty.
Well, that's all. If you want to complete the insult, you have to, you crispy, crunchy, crispy.
See, I love crispy.
Yeah.
Crispy is a good word. I'll take crispy all day. You turn it to crunch or crusty, I'm out. I'll even take crunchy.
Crusty son of a gun.
I love crunchy. I'm a corn nuts guy.
Sure.
Can't kick out the crunch.
No.
But when you put it to crust, then we got a problem. So that's the rule.
There you go.
Spread the word.
There you go. Make it happen.
It is 7:16.
Donkey lip the weekend, everybody.
Let's take a look at your weather. We're in the warm part now. Now it's all warm and summer and spring-like now. So here's your weather. Enjoy.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It'll be fair and mild today. We have high pressure settling in over eastern New Mexico. Looks like it'll hang around through the upcoming weekend. We'll be in the mid-70s on our afternoon high today. Lots of sun, clear for the overnight hours, and our low near 40. A little bit warmer on Friday. We'll hit the 80-degree mark with sunshine, and then it looks like upper 80s for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. And currently 31 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 42%. Winds are out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour. Sunny today. High of 77 expected. Winds out of the southeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. So I'm going to declare it. Today's going to be a beautiful day. Tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 41. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. But wait, there's more. Friday, sunny and 81 for a high tomorrow. Northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 40. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Looking at your weekend, bust out the shorts. It's going to be warm. Sunny and 87 on Saturday. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, mostly sunny, a high of 89. So, yeah, we're going to be near 90. And then start next week, we'll be 88 and sunny on Monday. Tuesday, back down to the mid-70s and breezy. And looks like the word rain re-enters the forecast around Tuesday night, Wednesday next week. We'll see if that enhances into something a little bit bigger. But right now, they're just talking like 20%. So we'll see. All right, it is 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're going to take a 2-minute commercial break. And then on the other side, we're going to play our interview with James and Troy from Celebrate Recovery, talking about their big show at Grace Community Church on April the 2nd. That's coming up next. Don't go away.
Get smoking hot deals during the sizzling savings event at Roswell Nissan. Like a 2015 Ford F-150 for just $307 a month, or a 2010 Honda Odyssey for just $149 a month. And join Roswell Nissan March 26th from 10 to 1 for free food, stuff for the kiddos, and your chance to win a Masterbuilt 30-inch electric smoker. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test drive or service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing March 26th at 1. Must be present to win. Get a Home Depot gift card with a test drive and a portable grill and a chance at the cash grab just for stopping by. On now at Roswell Nissan. 2111 West 2nd.
Roswell Medical Clinic is pleased to welcome Tanya Montoya as the newest member of the family. Tanya's expertise includes functional medicine, wellness, and women's health. Tanya seeks to truly partner with her patients to provide cutting-edge ideas to not only treat chronic diseases, but reverse them. Roswell Medical Clinic is committed to listening and helping each patient become the best version of themselves. Call Roswell Medical Clinic at 575-623-3311 or stop by 111 West Hobb Street. Roswell Medical Clinic, providers that listen.
There's a whole universe out there. Come explore at the International UFO Museum and Research Center, featuring engaging exhibits and in-depth first-hand accounts of the incident that put Roswell on the map. The research library features the most comprehensive collection of UFO research materials in the world, and you can get exclusive one-of-a-kind gifts and merch from the gift shop or online at RoswellUFOmuseum.com. Don't forget about the UFO Festival, July 1st through 3rd, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Roswell incident. The International UFO Museum and Research Center. It's otherworldly.
When it comes to the security of your home or business, you want a local company, one that has a personal investment right here in Southeast New Mexico. Zenith Security Services is your local Honeywell dealer. Zenith can handle all of your business and residential alarms, cameras, and IT services, as well as home theater installations, all from a local company. The Spring Starter Package is now available at Zenith Security Services for your home or business. Call the real Zenith Security Services today. 575-626-3521. Zenith Security Services. Protection with a local touch.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Celebrate Recovery, James Tucker back with us. Not Jim, but James. I've done that. I didn't do it this time.
Yes.
I nailed it. I got it right this time. And Troy Thompson as well. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing today?
Doing awesome.
Good deal. How's your dad doing, by the way? I'm sure he's been busy with all this weather and stuff.
Oh,
we've been
yeah.
having.
The spotter classes.
Yeah. For folks you don't know, James's dad, Jim, is a Skywarn weather coordinator for Chavez County. And if you want to learn about weather or know anything about weather, his dad's the guy. And ham radio, too, by the way. That's
ham radio.
His dad and their group there, they've been doing a lot of cool stuff over there. Yep. So if you get into that, stop James at the event we're talking about, and he'll tell you how to get a hold of his dad. But before we talk about the event on April 2nd, let's just give folks a little bit of an intro or at least an introduction if they're not familiar with Celebrate Recovery. I mean, I think a lot of people understand it's what they do, but don't realize the depth and the broadness of what Celebrate Recovery is. So maybe we should start there, just kind of give a little explanation.
All right. Well, Celebrate Recovery is not just for people with alcohol or drug addictions. Like my wife has found help with anxiety and depression and your fears, worry, pride.
Sure.
You name it, and you can find respite through Jesus Christ through Celebrate Recovery.
And at the end of the day, when we talk about addiction, what we're really talking about is what's causing the peril in your life to you to turn to those things to be addictive. So when we talk about someone that's addicted to drugs or alcohol or any vice, gambling, whatever it is, they're trying to fill a void. They're trying to fill a hole. Something is missing in their life. We think it's God and some of these things. So when you talk about your wife and things, you're not treating addiction per se. You're treating why this person is turning to those things. So it makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. And, your wife didn't have an alcohol or drug problem, but she's dealing with depression, anxiety, all these things that alcoholics, drug dealers are dealing with, except for, seeking help. They choose to go to a bottle or the needle to fix that pain.
And previously, like myself, we both turned to alcohol as that was like the symptom of what the underlying problems were.
Yeah.
And that's how we found respite through alcohol.
Yeah. And I think that's why like programs like Celebrate Recovery and really any faith-based program has a better success rate than say a traditional take you to rehab, get you physically off the addiction, because that's all they're doing. They're giving you off the physical symptoms. They're not treating the problem. In essence, they're putting a Band-Aid on it. Right. And they're not going after the root cause of why it's bleeding in the first place. Yeah. And that's where Celebrate Recovery and faith-based programs come in. It's like, we understand you're addicted to something, but that's not the problem here. The problem is you're missing something in your life, and we're here to help you find that.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's why Celebrate Recovery has success, where maybe someone that goes to a judge-ordered traditional medical-style rehab facility doesn't have the success numbers that, say, a faith-based program does.
And I've been down that route.
Yeah.
I went to Alcoholics Anonymous back in 2005 to 2010, but I did not have Jesus Christ as my Lord, my higher power.
Mm-hmm.
And and I end up going back out.
Yeah.
And just this time around with my wife and I both, she had 8 years yesterday. I had 8.5 years yesterday.
Congratulations.
And with Jesus Christ as our higher power, it has been a completely different story.
Sure. And I'm going to also say, and this is where Celebrate Recovery comes in, there's strength in numbers.
Right.
And I'm sure because you and your wife walked this journey together, that made it a little easier for you guys.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Exponentially.
Yeah.
And that was all part of God's plan.
And Celebrate Recovery is the same way. Okay, maybe you don't have a spouse or a brother or sister or something to come with you, but once you're there, you're amongst your people. You know what I mean? That's what, and you're amongst people that have walked the same paths you've walked, that have done the same, some of the, if not the same, very similar, and understand where you're coming from. It's not coming from a place of judgment. It's coming from a place of welcome to the family. Let's help you get right like we're getting right. Exactly. And that's and here's the thing. I also want to say the journey never ends.
No,
it's just like life. Yeah. We're always trying to get better. We're always trying to learn something new, be better people, and that's a lifetime process.
Oh, yeah.
And this is no different here.
Yeah.
You once you're on the path, it's a struggle to stay on, and that's where Celebrate Recovery helps you stay on that path. Helps you, when you have those moments of weakness. Now you've got an outlet and a place of people and information that you can go to help you navigate through it, as opposed to your previous options or choices of trying to rectify a problem.
Right.
And that's, at the end of the day, that's what Celebrate Recovery does, is that fellowship, that bringing people close to God, and at the end of the day, helping them walk that path and helping them use these tools to make them better people. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So, through God.
Right. And James and I have two completely different stories, but they're very similar. And two different locations.
Sure.
Ours was in Iowa. His is here in New Mexico. But the finer lines of the story is very similar.
Yeah. And really that's
how we have become.
And
so
I think
close.
that's the case for everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Semantics may be different. You know, the details, what you've done, maybe slightly different, but the feelings, the path, it's all the same. It really is the same. We all share this planet together. We all breathe and sleep and live in the same air here. We all share experiences. I don't care what culture you're from, where you come from on this planet. We all have shared experiences, and really how we go through them is the same.
Exactly. Yeah.
That being said, would love to, and we've got an event coming up, and please, I want to make this clear. This is not just an event for people struggling with addiction or wanting to be a Celebrate Recovery. This is an event for anybody that wants to get closer to God. That's what this event's all about: motivation, inspiration, and sharing God's message. Yeah. If you happen to be as a member of Celebrate Recovery or needing those kind of help, by all means, please come join us. But also understand, this isn't limited to that. This is, if you want a closer connection to God, then that's all the reason you need to be here on April 2nd. So tell us a little bit about this event happening on April 2nd.
Okay, well, Hosanna Wong, she's an international author or spoken word artist.
Yes.
And she's a pastor at East Lake Church in San Diego.
Okay.
And she's really big. She's a product of Celebrate Recovery. She grew up in the streets of San Francisco. I'm not going to give away a lot of her.
She'll explain those for Stone.
She's going to give her testimony on April 2nd.
But she struggled.
She struggled with a bunch of things, and like I said, I'll wait till you got to show up to see her story.
Sure.
But she's amazing. She's a co-host of Better Together on TBN in the mornings.
Okay.
She just released a new book called How Not to Save the World, because she just at the beginning of her ministry, she packed her suitcase, got in the car, and just traveled the country, and not knowing really where God was taking her. She knew she was being called to ministry and lead people to Jesus Christ. She didn't exactly know how to do it, and she did a lot of things the hard way.
Gotcha.
And that's what.
So she's learned lessons.
Oh yeah.
And probably learned them a lot harder than maybe we needed to.
Right.
And now she's sharing those experiences, so we don't have to learn the same lessons as hard.
Exactly. And so her new book, How Not to Save the World, explains how she did, so we don't have to do it.
Right.
The greatest teacher I think is pain, but maybe there is other people's pain.
Sure.
Struggles.
You don't have to learn directly through your own pain.
Right.
If you can receive that reminder or wake up call, depending on how you look at it, through someone else's story, and that's what Hosanna is really presenting.
Right.
She's been down this path, and she has. And I watched the clip here, and I've seen some other stuff with her, and what she does really well is instill the passion, instill the it's almost to get you excited about being a reminder, because life is hard. And then when you get hit with enough stuff, at some point that takes a toll on your psyche. It takes a toll on and certainly the last 3 years of the world we've lived in with COVID and war and Lord knows what else is going on right now. We could definitely use a reminder and someone to say, you know what? For every bad thing you're seeing right now, there's something much bigger and greater out there if you just keep your eye on the prize and remember. Remember back to the core sometimes a little bit. It's so easy to get confused in this world with so much going on that, sometimes we've got to be reminded what love in life is all about. And be reminded of that. And I think April 2nd with Hosanna is one of those events for people. To remind folks.
I would go so far as say, even if you don't think it is your deal, you should come check it out.
Yeah.
Because you might hear something that you never thought you were going to hear.
Sure, a different perspective.
And the way that she does her spoken word stuff, man, it'll hit you right in your chest.
Yeah.
It'll get you.
It's one thing to see it on YouTube, because you can look her up on YouTube and you can turn it up on the surround sound and just really but until you've
been in the room
and see her and the passion that she presents these spoken word pieces in, it's a game changer.
It's all about energy, I think, and you can watch something and really at the end of the day, your only energy you're feeding is what she's providing from the video and what you're feeling from that.
Right.
Whereas if you're in the room where it's going on, you get the added level of the feeling of the crowd, the people around you, and I don't care when you're in a room with a bunch of happy people.
Yeah.
You're going to be happy after. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Even if you're in a bad mood and you're in a bunch of room with happy, that kind of rubs off on you a little bit. And so I think that adds to that a little bit where you can get distracted by just watching a video at home. The dog barks, kids want something. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And so you get in and out of things. We're all here for the same thing, and so there's no lull. It's just building, and then by the time you get out of there, you're probably ready to run through a wall and say, I'm ready to celebrate life again.
Right. And one of her spoken word pieces is "I Have a New Name," and a lot of her emphasis is on, because we've let the world define who we are for a long time. For a long time, I was an addict. I was a junkie. I stuck needles in my arms. That's what I did. That's what identified me. But her spoken word piece, "I Have a New Name," it just gives example after example of what God thinks of us. He calls us a friend. He calls us a child of God. Our body is the holy temple of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And it's amazing the things that we've let.
And if you guys don't feel comfortable asking us, tell me no. But I'm just curious. You were talking there, and it kind of spawned an idea or question. For you guys on the road to recovery here, was the biggest part getting your family and friends to kind of get back to having a relationship with you, or was it convincing yourself that you know what I mean? Like you just said, I identify myself as an addict and this and that. And so when your brain says that, you got to be thinking, well, I'm no good. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's so I got to wonder, what was the bigger hurdle? Convincing your own self that you're a good person, or going back and convincing relationships you burned in the past? I'm just curious. And I'm very curious what for your experience on that.
It's funny that you asked this, because another gentleman asked us last night almost the same question, worded a little bit differently.
Yeah.
It was, when did you feel that you were worthy of God's grace again? And for me, my family fell like right in line as soon as I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with all that. I'm staying sober. And even though I had done it before and let them down, they were right there to support me. But it took a while for me to have that feeling within me that I was worthy of God's grace.
Yeah.
And the reason I love Hosanna Wong's I Have a New Name so much is because along my journey and reading through the book of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John, the Holy Spirit had pressed it on me, because coming from previous Alcoholic Anonymous type
Sure. Other programs.
Yeah. I would always refer to myself as, hi, my name is Troy. I am blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. I'm an alcoholic or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And God was like, that's not your name. That's not who you are anymore. And after he's just reiterated that over and over and over again. So I will say, that I have struggled with alcohol.
Sure.
And I've struggled with drugs, but that's not what defines me. That's not who I am, because God has given me a new name.
Yeah.
And I could talk to you for hours about James knows about all the things that God's done in my life.
When you told me that, and when you said, when I was labeled myself, I'm an addict, it just triggered in my head. It's like, well, what's the harder part? Getting other people to convince, or you yourself?
Yourself.
And it is you.
And
yourself.
we've talked about this too on our Monday night groups, where my struggle was the mess, and was whatever with women, and when I quit, I guess calling myself that, and when you start talking about it, it loses power over the shame and the guilt, and then so whenever
I get what you're saying. I get, because I think it also translates to other aspects of life. You look at, and surely does, it's God's plan. But when you look at like people that want, humanity wants to be victims sometimes. And I don't agree with that mindset, but I think we almost live in a society where it's acceptable to play that role, or to want to be like, we're supposed to, that's a good thing to be a victim. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. I mean, I understand people are done wrong and they're hurt by that, but at the same time, to be proud of that moniker, to say no, I don't think that's right, because now you're giving into what other people think of you, and what other, like, now you're buying into the fact that people are telling you you're not as good as other people. And I mean, we talk race relations, all the things that humanity we deal with. I think there's something to all that right there in that statement. But in essence, it's so much in recovery too. If you guys aren't willing to forgive yourself and say, you know what, I'm not an addict anymore. I'm a good human being, and I need to tell myself that. And I get what I think the reminder is for alcoholism. They're always saying, don't forget, you're always fall off that wagon.
Always,
yes, that's true. But you don't have to identify yourself as
right.
that.
And I always hear once an addict, always an addict, which I think is garbage.
Yeah. I get the sentiment, and you're right. We need to be aware that you could relapse.
Right.
However, that doesn't define you as a human being.
That is not who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I like that message, and you're right. It's time to kind of alter that. Be humble, be mindful of what your weaknesses are, but at the same time, they don't define who you are as a human being.
Exactly.
It's the other things.
There was an old gentleman in Alcoholics Anonymous who would always say, "You can't turn a pickle back into a cucumber," and that would always resonate in my head. And then one night, I was watching the Chosen series, and it was like, well, Jesus could turn a pickle right back into a cucumber. He can turn water into wine.
Sure. That's the power of God.
He can turn me from an alcoholic into a father, a husband, a upright citizen.
It's all about faith.
That's
just
right.
Believe in it and believe and have that faith, and that's what happens, and that's Christianity.
That just that change in my mindset is what was like the flipping of the switch, the turning point.
So I would love to invite people to come out. Tanner, get ready here. I'm going to get a clip going here. I just want to give you the 3-second heads up here. But April the 2nd, 4 p.m., come on out. Hosanna Wong, she's going to be speaking. What's it, about an hour and a half?
About an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay.
But it's going to be praise and it's not just, she's doing 3 spoken word pieces.
Okay.
But it's praise and worship. It's going to be a lot of praise and worship.
Gotcha.
Just spending time in the presence and worship.
Yeah. And some music too, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we got the praise and worship team from Grace.
Deal.
We're going to.
So it's as inspiring. It'll be entertaining as is inspiring.
Yeah.
So
James will be on drums.
You're on drums, huh?
Yeah.
You can do wipeout solos, or what are we doing?
Our praise and worship pastor,
28-minute of Inagata Davida.
All right. It's like the guitar guys. You start playing Stairway and everyone stops you. You start on drums and then they go, oh! he'll be doing other songs there.
Yeah.
Now, he might do requests afterwards. You just got to hang out and see.
Maybe.
But the real star of the night will be Hosanna Wong, and she's coming to town for a one afternoon only opportunity to hear her in person. Good news is it doesn't cost you one dime. It's a free event. It's all happening at Grace Community Church there at 935 West Mescalero, if you're not familiar. There in the big auditorium there at the church there. Come be a part. Come listen. And let me. You ready, Tanner? Just stick a thumbs up out the door there if you're good to go. He's slow moving sometimes. There is the thumb. All right. Very good. We're going to play a little clip. It's kind of just a sample of her speaking, and just give you an idea of what you're going to hear on April 2nd here. So here is Hosanna Wong. Enjoy.
John 15:15. He calls me friend. 1 Thessalonians 1:4, he calls me chosen. Ephesians 2:10, he calls me his workmanship. He calls me his art. He calls me handmade. He calls me purposed and fashioned for good things. 1 Corinthians 6:19, he calls my body a temple. He calls it the residence of the Holy Spirit. Acts 1:8, he calls me his messenger to the world. Galatians 3:26, he calls me his child. Romans 5:8, he calls me greatly loved. John 8:36, he calls me free indeed. 2 Corinthians 5:17, he calls me brand new. And it's amazing how different these names are from the names I'm used to listening to. That's my name, God's temple. That's my name, God's messenger. That's my name.
Beginning for the radio folks, because I jacked it up. Tanner was good, and I'm the dummy. I should have gave a thumbs up to myself.
15, he calls me friend. 1 Thessalonians 1:4, he calls me chosen. Ephesians 2:10, he calls me his workmanship. He calls me his art. He calls me handmade. He calls me purposed and fashioned for good things. 1 Corinthians 6:19, he calls my body a temple. He calls it the residence of the Holy Spirit. Acts 1:8, he calls me his messenger to the world. Galatians 3:26, he calls me his child. Romans 5:8, he calls me greatly loved. John 8:36, he calls me free indeed. 2 Corinthians 5:17, he calls me brand new. And it's amazing how different these names are from the names I'm used to listening to.
You know,
God's temple.
Sorry, I played it again there for our folks here on the radio. She's she's been through a lot, but she looks like a relatively young lady. I'm guessing she started young with some of her.
I believe so. I think in her book it describes her being in a park in San Francisco and witnessing a murder.
Okay.
That happened, and she was 9 at the time. So So she started early, but
she lived hard early.
Yeah. So and it talks about the struggles with her dad in Bernal Heights, which is a district in San Francisco.
Okay.
And it's just. Read the book. We'll have the book.
Okay, so you can get a copy of her book at the event.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine, is she going to be signing copies?
She'll be doing book signing.
Very cool. So. Very cool. And then, of course, at book signings, you get a chance to talk and meet and greet. And I'm sure she loves to hear those stories too. And people that go on the road and are giving their testimony and giving their story and sharing their experiences, they equally thrive, I think, on some of the stories that she gets back.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Stories of struggle that she hears, and hopefully they come out on the other side by hearing some of her message or their own experiences. And I imagine too that probably works into her own message that she shares. When you feed her your stories and your experiences, that's examples and ammo for her to help the next group too, as much as her own experiences. But I think we need others. We can't live in this world by ourselves and our own experiences. We need the help of each other and other people to kind of make that connection. I think that's where she probably gets some of that, and feeding her own soul is talking to these folks and things. Because I guarantee she's taken as much out of this as she's giving. You know what I mean? Especially someone like her who's now basically walked this path, hit a bottom, and has come back and is a phoenix now and really taken that message to the world here. That kind of thing, when she has her bad days, hearing stories of change probably turns her around and things like that too. So I imagine for her, this is just as much her own testimony for herself as it is a testimony to us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I love about it. There's you hear them saying you practice what you preach. She's practicing what she preaches here, and that's what I like about it. So put it on your calendars, April 2nd. By the way, that's like in 2 weeks. By the way,
13 days.
I feel like it's a month away, but it really isn't.
No.
It's in 2 weeks. Again, Saturday, April 2nd, 4 p.m. at Grace Community Church there on Mescalero, 935 West Mescalero. Free event. Doesn't cost a dime. I imagine if you want to bring a love offering, you're more than welcome to help celebrate recovery of the church.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you're by no means any obligations or don't feel bad if you can't. Yeah, I don't care if you don't have 2 pennies to rub together. It doesn't matter. Come on down.
Come enjoy.
It's about the message. It's about, because at the end of the day, this might be that moment that turns your path into saying, you know what, it's time for a change. It's time for me to make a concerted effort to be closer to God. And that's what, it's not even about drinking or alcohol or addiction or any of those things. It's about strengthening your relationship with God. That's what April 2nd is all about. So if you're struggling with dependency, if you're just struggling because that's life, then you're more than welcome to come. Or if you're not struggling at all, you just want, just hear the message and reinforce what you already know, then please come on out and be a part of that. Share your story. Yeah. Maybe you're one of the people that have listened and been down the path, and now you're in a good place. Maybe you can use this event to help others by sharing your experiences with them at the event. Because I imagine, as much as everyone's there to hear Hosanna, there's just as much knowledge and information in the fellowship amongst the people, in the audience, and that's what Celebrate Recovery is about. There wouldn't be a group called Celebrate Recovery if you could do it on your own.
And there'll be Celebrate Recovery groups from all over the state. This is kind of a New Mexico Celebrate Recovery event. So we've had a church from Las Cruces, Real Life Church in Las Cruces.
Good.
Help with the funding to get her here.
I would imagine too. Yeah, this is because it's a unique treat to have her come to New Mexico. We're probably getting a lot of out of Roswell town folks that are coming from other parts of the area to see her
Lubbock,
speak.
El Paso, Colorado Springs.
Folks that aren't willing to travel to San Fran to go and see what she has to say. So very good.
It's going to be a big weekend. And I said this the other day, but I really think God is doing something big here in Southeast New Mexico, because this is not the only big name that's going to be in town. I don't want to throw anybody off because I want them to come to our thing.
Yeah.
But God is making it very ample opportunities to speak into people's lives.
Sure.
And Hosanna is just one of those, an event that's going on.
Based on the world we live in right now, probably needed.
Yeah.
It's always needed, probably a little more so right now. Just the way humanity is feeling right now. We could use a hug from God right now, I think.
For sure.
Also, I want to give an opportunity. Celebrate Recovery. You guys meet weekly Friday nights. Give that information, and of course, anyone's invited to come to the Friday meetings as well too.
We meet every Friday night at 5:00 we have a meal, and then after the meal we'll have a worship, and then either a testimony or the lesson, whatever lesson we are working through that week.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we have an open share group. Women go with women and men go with men.
Okay.
And we have childcare. We have excellent childcare program.
And by the way, there'll be childcare available for this event on April 2nd as well. So
in order to secure your spot, because we have a limited number.
Gotcha.
So you need to call the church office, speak with Valerie.
Make arrangements.
Get
Very
your
good.
spot.
But no problem to handle it. Just make arrangements. Call ahead. Because like you said, if we get 1,000 people there, and that's a lot of kids.
Oh yeah, we got it.
I mean, and if all 1,000 needed a babysitter, then it might be a little hairy there. But I don't. But so just call ahead here too. And of course, like you said, coming out to the meetings each Friday night for that. So you guys, the meeting starts at 7. Y'all start at 6 or 5 for
5 for the meal.
5 for the meal.
And 6 for the
large.
That's right. I got a new one, so the one I wrote 6 on, and I scratched
we
it
did
out.
change. It did used to start later, but
well, I wrote it on this one, but I got to playing, and when I'm talking to people, I do this, and I wore all the stuff off, so I can't. So, I'm a 7-year-old. Sorry. So I had to get a new one, but I didn't have the change to see. Well, it is kind of there, so you can kind of see I scratched out. Put 6 on there, but. But anyway, come out and that, again, that's open to anyone. If you're coming through, even if you not necessarily think you're addicted to something, you're just missing God in your life. Come out to the Friday meetings. Come early, 5 o'clock, get a meal, and then join us for fellowship at 6. And that's every Friday at Grace Community Church there. And you guys meet in the Children's Building there at Grace Community Church. So, but again, April 2nd, Grace Community Church, 4 p.m., Hosanna Wong will be your featured speaker at this amazing afternoon of God, of celebrating God. That's, at the end of the day, what it's all about. If anybody has any questions, of course, I know there's a Celebrate Recovery Roswell Facebook page. You can always shoot a question if you've got any, whether it's about the Friday night meetings or the event on April 2nd. Is there a better way or a different way that you would like people to get a hold of us too?
You can call the church office, speak with Barry or Valerie.
Okay.
Or we have cr@roswellgrace.com is our email address.
And the phone number of the church is 575-623-5438. You can call over there. So good
and
deal.
We get a lot of referrals from the church through their connection card, people wanting to know more about Celebrate Recovery.
Well, and that's, people come from all walks of places, so how they find you doesn't matter. They're just going to find you. Exactly. Is there anything we missed? Anything you guys wanted to share that we just skipped over and didn't get a chance to talk about?
No.
Good deal.
Covered it.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike, for having us.
Congratulations on your own celebrations and your path here. We're very happy to see. You guys are proof in the pudding. Celebrate Recovery is.
James just had 5 years.
Yeah,
he didn't want to say that.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah,
congratulations.
Just had 5 years.
He's gonna celebrate with a drum solo on April 1st.
Maybe.
I'm gonna have to tell him.
I'm kind of putting you on the hook. They're gonna demand one at this point.
Yeah, right.
I'll clue him who Iron Butterfly is.
There you go. You'll get him. You'll get him.
I got the album at home.
Age appropriate up and everything.
Yeah, all right.
These youngins. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
We'll see y'all next time. Okay.
Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Thanks for joining us. A Roswell man is being held for his 9th drunk driving offense after allegedly fleeing the scene of an accident on Monday. Jail records show 14 criminal charges against 55-year-old Ronnie Garcia. Police responded to South Meadowbrook and East Alameda for the report of a crash, but found the wrecked vehicle was abandoned. Garcia was found in a nearby field, passed out, police said. He appeared in court Wednesday to hear the charges against him. He's being held in the Chaves County Jail on a $20,000 cash bond. And the man accused of killing his girlfriend in Roswell has pleaded not guilty. 34-year-old Jorge Rico Rivera is blamed for the death of Isela Mauricio Salazar. He's also charged with child abuse for leaving the couple's child locked in their home with the mother's dead body. Rico Rivera was captured in Mexico with the couple's son, who is now with other family members. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Even if you're not a fubber, there's no question at some point you've been fubbed, and it's ruining relationships. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. To get it right, fubbing is when someone who you're actively talking to looks away from you to check their phone. And if you feel that you're being snubbed, the fact is, you should feel that way, because that's exactly what's happening. It's rude, it's unthinking, and uncaring. For the one doing it, it seems harmless. But for those sitting with that person at lunch, dinner, or in a business meeting, it's noticeable and irritating. In some businesses, fubbing during a meeting can actually get you fired. Research published in the Journal of Applied Social Psychology found that even people who imagined that they were being fubbed while in a conversation, they left the conversation with highly negative feelings. So if you want to put your best foot forward, never, ever, ever fub someone else.
You've heard me talk about how important it is to have a VPN to protect your online privacy. I only recommend brands to my listeners that I believe in. And I can say with full confidence that ExpressVPN is the best VPN on the market. First, ExpressVPN doesn't log your online activity. Lots of cheap or free VPNs make money by selling your data to advertisers. But ExpressVPN doesn't. They even developed a technology, Trusted Server, that makes their VPN servers incapable of storing any data at all. Secondly, ExpressVPN now uses Lightway, a new VPN protocol they engineered to make user speeds faster than ever. Some VPNs slow your connection, but ExpressVPN is always blazing fast. Plus, it's easy to use. Just fire up the app and tap to connect. So protect yourself with the VPN I use and trust. Go to expressvpn.com/Kim today and get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It'll be fair and mild today. We have high pressure settling in over eastern New Mexico. Looks like it'll hang around through the upcoming weekend. We'll be in the mid-70s on our afternoon high today. Lots of sun, clear for the overnight hours, and our low near 40. A little bit warmer on Friday. We'll hit the 80-degree mark with sunshine, and then it looks like upper 80s for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. It's early in the season still for baseball and softball, but for the Goddard baseball team, good test today at the Rio Rancho tournament. This is always a good tournament. It's called the Sal Puentes tournament. Goddard is 3-6 overall, and they'll be taking on a Valley team that's 7-6. That starts at 4 o'clock today, and that's not the only tournament action going on. You've got in softball the Lindsey Callaway tournament in Dexter, with Dexter taking on Capitan. Dexter still seeking its first victory of the season. And in baseball, you've got the Sertoma Colt Classic going on in Roswell. That's NMMI's tournament, and Dexter will be playing Capitan today at 10 a.m. NMMI still undefeated, 7-0, taking on Tularosa tonight at 7 o'clock. Tularosa's 3-2. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The European Union is looking to the United States to help reduce its reliance on Russian energy and will be discussing major shipments of liquefied natural gas over the next 2 years during a meeting with President Biden on Thursday. The talks will focus on how to prioritize liquefied natural gas deliveries from the United States to the European Union in the coming months. A joint venture between Stellantis and South Korea's LG Energy Solution plans to build a large electric vehicle battery factory in Windsor, Ontario, employing about 2,500 people just across the river from Detroit. The venture plans to spend $4.1 billion to build the new plant on a field in the Canadian city. It's expected to open in early 2024 and will be able to make battery cells and modules for over 500,000 electric vehicles per year. The plant will supply batteries for a significant portion of Stellantis' North American production. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
To get the most out of your car or truck, you got to take care of it. But getting in for service can be a pain. That's why your friends at the Tailgate Nation have created the Express Service Center to take care of most routine maintenance while you wait, with no appointment necessary. Just pull into Roswell Ford's Express Service Center. We'll do your oil and filter changes and other scheduled maintenance while you relax. We can even fix your brakes, tires, battery, and do some Ford factory recalls. To get you started, Roswell Ford is offering something we call The Works. For just $54.95, we'll change your oil and filter, add up to 6 quarts of semi-synthetic oil, rotate your tires, and give your vehicle a complete inspection. All for just $54.95 plus tax and supplies for most cars, SUVs, and light-duty trucks. Sorry, but diesel and dualies don't count. Offer ends April 30th, so don't put it off. Just stop by the Roswell Ford Express Service Center. Tell them you want The Works. They're waiting for you now at the Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Tightening the screws on Russia, the U.S., EU, and the G7 announcing new sanctions aimed at punishing Russia for its invasion of Ukraine. Among those targeted by this latest round of U.S. sanctions, more than 300 members of the State Duma, that's the lower house of the Russian parliament. Announcement of the new sanctions comes as President Biden and other NATO leaders hold an emergency meeting in Brussels. White House correspondent Greg Clugston.
The president hopes to reinforce the unity of the U.S. and its allies in confronting Russia.
What we would like to hear is that the resolve and unity that we've seen for the past month will endure for as long as it takes.
That's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, who says the president will coordinate with allies on military assistance for Ukraine and new sanctions on Russia. He also plans to talk about ways to reduce European reliance on Russian energy.
And in Ukraine's capital, the BBC's James Waterhouse says President Zelensky, continuing to rally his people, is now urging a worldwide show of solidarity with Ukraine.
It's important for him to remain in Kiev as well as portray his loyalty and defiance in the name of his country. But today we're seeing him trying to tap into a much broader audience. He's called on people to take to their streets and squares in support of Ukraine. It is a month since this country changed forever, since Russian forces crossed the border from the north, east and south. But it's clear they're being frustrated and Ukraine is digging in. But the big question marks for people is what is going to happen next as Russia tries to achieve its goals.
The number of first-time claims for jobless benefits dropped to a 52-year low last week, falling 28,000 to 187,000. Wall Street, the Dow's up 125 points, NASDAQ ahead 46 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshares. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, well, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sounds crazy, right? Well, the crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-691-9999. 800-691-9999. 800-691-9999.
Put those shields up, you cyber warriors.
The FBI is warning it has seen increased interest by Russian hackers in energy companies since the start of the war, though it is offering no indication that a specific cyber attack is being planned. The FBI says Russian hackers have scanned at least 5 energy companies and 18 other companies in sectors including the defense industrial base and financial services. Those companies have not been identified. Jason Walker reporting.
Wearing rubber boots and full rain gear, hundreds of searchers in the muddy forested hills of southern China trying to locate the second black box from a China Eastern passenger jet that crashed in southern China with 132 people on board earlier this week. 3 days after the crash, officials say they have found 183 pieces of the airliner. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Today, the final day of confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson.
After 2 days of posing questions to the nominees, senators today will hear from a series of outside legal experts. They'll pose questions to several members of the American Bar Association, as well as law professors and Alabama State Attorney General Steve Marshall. Despite some tense moments during the hearings, Jackson is expected to be easily confirmed. If so, she'll become the first ever African-American woman to win a seat on the nation's highest court. Bob Agnew reporting.
Parts of the South got a respite last night from the severe weather that's devastated parts of the region this week. There is a lot of cleanup to be done after numerous tornadoes and other severe weather swept across parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Alabama, and Tennessee. Some injuries, at least one death, have been reported as a result of the ferocious storms. A massive cleanup job now getting underway. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to hour number 2.
Das Bus.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. It's not Monday, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, my tongue's been very twisted today.
You started, you veered off the normal path of intro.
Yeah,
I do that all the time. I have this very specific sentence that I say at the end of every show.
Yeah.
And I started it wrong yesterday, and it's like one of those things where you start running and your feet are actually like running faster than the rest of you, and so you just trip over them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that.
It happens. When you start out the gate, you're tripping up. It's just going to keep happening.
The words of OJ. Happens.
It happens. The whole thing is, I want to say a big old thanks to each and every one of you out there in the land of the brand for spending just a little portion of your morning routine with me, whether it's a few minutes, a few hours, or the whole shebang bang. Well, doggone it, I appreciate you spending just a little portion of your time here in my realm.
Wow, I'm glad you had that memorized.
If I don't start it right, I will stumble all the way through.
Yep. Well, it happens.
Hey, it's like when you're trying to run down a hill.
I saw something online.
Oh, yeah?
On Facebook, actually, a little bit ago. Anybody looking to move to Houston?
Go on.
That's a friend of the hit show Friends. Is an opportunity for you. It was one of these like posts on Facebook. It's like, and it actually was from Realtor.com, weirdly enough.
Okay.
But it was a listing for a townhome in Houston, Texas.
Sure.
This made me giggle. The address, by the way, is where'd it go? 1706 Beavis Street in Houston, Texas. Yeah, I'm 7. I laugh. You laugh too.
It's all right.
Fellow 7-year-old.
It could be a lot worse. You could live on Butthole Court or Butthead Court. I mean. Sure, I went with that. I was distracted by my phone. Okay,
that's a whole different court.
Yeah, that's a completely different court.
But yeah, it's on.
Don't go down there after the sun goes down.
On Beavis Street, in Houston. And the owners, and to be honest, it's a fair price for this home.
Okay,
a townhome. It's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath.
Sure. Wow, really?
It's a 2,000 square foot home, 2,015 square foot home with a 2-car garage.
Okay.
Built in an OP3. For Houston, price per square foot, $168 a month, or $64 a month. But anyway, the reason I'm mentioning this, the owners have basically turned the home into an homage to Friends.
Really?
And so, like, the kitchen and everything kind of looks like their apartment from Friends.
So is it modeled after a specific one of the Friends apartments?
No,
or?
it's an homage to all things Friends.
Gotcha.
And so some of the decor looks like Friends, some not so much because it's a townhome as opposed to make it look like two apartments basically. But here's the property details. If you love the TV show, then you'll love the house. There are wall murals reminiscent of scenes from the show, along with decor and furnishings to make you feel like you're there. The current owners didn't monkey around. Get the pun there. Fans of Friends would know. Yes, I know exactly what that is. But they didn't. The owners didn't monkey around when paying attention to details. So have fun looking around and staying alert for those details. Start your day with breakfast prepared in Monica's kitchen.
Ooh.
Yeah. After more fun, a day of foosball or hanging out with friends at Central Perk.
Nice.
It might be time to check out the local entertainment. They talk about some of the things around that area that they have. But yeah, I'm looking at pictures. And so, yeah, it kind of, it's not like exactly, but there's like the kitchen, they use that same blue counter or the cabinetry and the
It's not going to be the same unless you have like a Living Janice.
Yeah.
If like Fun Bobby shows up every now and again. I mean, you have to have Gunther. It's not going to be the same thing.
Yeah, it's basically a fun house of Friends theme things. They make one area kind of look like Central Perk. They make an area, there. But the one that made me laugh is that it's a townhome. It's multi-story.
Right.
In the stairwell, and it's got a curved stairs that kind of do a little curve.
Uh-huh.
And the curve of the stairwell, there's a big picture of Ross with a couch going, pivot!
The best scene in the entirety of Friends. Pivot!
It looked fun, but they're only asking $330,000 for this townhome.
Wow. So here's what
Houston,
you do.
Texas.
You invest. It's an investment. You buy it, and then you Airbnb.
Yeah, that would be the way to. That'd be the move.
Fans, yeah.
Keep it all friendsed up, and I'm assuming if you buy said home, you get it with furnishings. I mean, they wouldn't sell it that way if the owners were taking all that because a lot of it, and that's the thing about the house. If you don't like Friends, you can take that down. You might have to do some painting, but you know what I mean. It's not that over.
And if you do like Friends, or if you don't like Friends, and you're thinking maybe you want to, this could pivot you into liking it, or force your hand basically because you have no choice. You're around it 24/7. You might as well enjoy it.
The only thing I noted in the comments, a couple of people said the race car bed. There's no race car bed. They should have put a race car bed in there.
And the other thing is, I mean, how ideal our nostalgia glasses are. They had a VCR. They had a TV and a VCR.
Modernized. Yeah, it's modernized. Like the appliances, like the refrigerator, that looked more modern.
There's a whole episode, or like a B plot in the one episode about how they forgot to rewind a tape.
Yeah,
it's like that's something you can't really. I mean, yeah, that's neat and everything, but it's not.
It's the vibe.
Not ideal.
It's not. They're not. It's kind of like Star Trek,
right?
As people build their homes look like the bridge of the Enterprise. Really not a transporter,
right?
Just that's all I'm saying.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me they're not actually transporting matter?
No, that's fake. That's Hollywood. Sorry,
stupid country.
Sorry,
I don't even know what to believe anymore.
Scotty was an actor. He wasn't really an engineer.
Next thing you're telling me, Zuckerberg's not an alien.
Oh no, that's true.
No. Dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I had the algorithm come alive yesterday for me. Okay. So I'm sitting there with some friends. No, I'm sitting there with a couple of friends, and I was telling them.
At Central Perk.
Yeah, it was. I was at Central Perk. I was telling them about what you were telling me Tuesday about the End of the Mountain Gods.
Oh, yeah.
And how they're in the process of putting a food court in there, and one of the restaurants that's going to be in there is a Wahlburgers.
Yeah, fans of the show Wahlburgers or have had Wahlburgers in the Mountain Gods.
I'm sorry, are you okay?
Well,
do you need to go to the bathroom?
I just said
fans of the show Wahlburgers.
I was
thought you maybe you had a stroke right there.
Or had a Wahlburger. That's sorry. Okay. I was trying to.
You just drag it out.
What I was going to say was fans of the Wahlbergs. But it came out fans of the Wahlburgers. But anyway, yeah, they're going to put a food. They're getting rid of the Gathering Nations buffet,
which is a bummer.
And which has been gone, but now it's
a bummer.
It ain't coming back. And so they're building a food court, in essence, that's supposed to open this summer, and one of the featured restaurants is Wahlburgers.
So the second I mentioned that to my friend, the second I mentioned that, not only did the algorithm pick up on it and Facebook gave me targeted ads for it, literally the company Wahlburgers themselves, the second I said that, put a Facebook message up announcing that they were going to be
to get more,
in Mountain Gods.
Just been
I know,
Wahlburgering
but
up.
that's not what I'm saying. It wasn't even the algorithm that did it. It was like somebody in the Wahlberg company Wahlburgers company heard me talking about it and said, push it. Now's the time. And it came out right then. It wasn't it just tripped me out.
The moment you say it, Mark Wahlberg has a phone app, and it goes, woo, yeah. And anytime someone talks about Wahlburgers, it alerts him.
How did we not see this? There's only a Zucker of a difference between Mark Wahlberg and Mark Zuckerberg. And we've never seen him in the same place at the same time.
Telling you, something bigger going on here. Point is,
it's a doggone conspiracy.
I'll eat the burger.
I'm definitely going to try it.
But yeah. So was said person you tell excited about?
Stoked.
A Wahlburger coming? Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to that too. So coming this summer to Into the Mountain Gods near you. Hey, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few. Then in just a couple minutes here, Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell, is going to join us. Give us an update on things happening around the city. I know a lot have been planning and talks with UFO Festival going on, and so I imagine we'll get a little update there and some other events and things happening around town as well. Stay tuned, because kind of the rest of the show city, because next hour Kathy Lay is going to join us, and she wears her Keep Roswell Beautiful hat and her volunteer program hat as well. But she's going to be talking a lot about April 9th. They're going to be doing, it's springtime, sapling giveaways. It's that time of year again. So we'll talk about that. But I imagine Juanita will touch on that too. So stick around to get more information. Then later on, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your town hall, Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do anything else, let's take a look at that weather. It's the good news bear for this weather forecast. All good for the next couple days.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It'll be fair and mild today. We have high pressure settling in over eastern New Mexico. Looks like it'll hang around through the upcoming weekend. We'll be in the mid-70s on our afternoon high today. Lots of sun, clear for the overnight hours, and our low near 40. A little bit warmer on Friday. We'll hit the 80-degree mark with sunshine, and then it looks like upper 80s for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 35 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 38%. Winds currently out of the west at 8 miles per hour. Sunny and 77 today. Yeah. Upper 70s. Tickling with the 80s today. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 41 degrees. Winds will be out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Even warmer for you Friday, sunny and 81 with northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 40. Winds out of the south, 5 miles per hour. Bust out your shorts, tank tops, and your summer gear for the weekend, because it's going to feel summer-like. Sunny, 87 for a high on Saturday. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 47, and then mostly sunny with a high of 89 on Sunday. And then we're going to be 88 on Monday and back down to the mid-70s Tuesday with some potential for some slight rain chances Tuesday night into Wednesday. We'll see how that shapes up. All right, it is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then Juanita Jennings with the City of Roswell Public Affairs Director will join us next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Attention high school students, would you like more information on the most affordable four-year university in New Mexico? Then RSVP today to our Eastern New Mexico University Open House Preview Day, Saturday, March 26th. At ENMU Open House, you will have a chance to win great prizes, such as an iPad and a $500 scholarship. Get more information about admissions and scholarships. Meet with ENMU faculty. Find out more about potential majors and get a specialized campus tour from ENMU students. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Explore, experience, excel. Eastern New Mexico University.
They're back. The Yucca Blossom Trade Show is back and even bigger and better for spring. Saturday and Sunday, April 2nd and 3rd. It's the Yucca Blossom Spring into Action Trade Show at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Even bigger than ever, with 100 booths in 2 buildings at the fairgrounds. And there's lots of activities for the entire family, including the Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo, MJWZ barrel cars, a cornhole tournament, jumpers, face painting, and more. Plus, the food. Some of the best and most popular food trucks will be on hand so you can spend the entire day. Don't miss it. 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Saturday, April 2nd, and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday, April 3rd at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. The Yucca Blossom Spring into Action Trade Show. Don't miss it. Find Yucca Blossom Trade Days on Facebook to see some of the amazing one-of-a-kind items available to you during the Yucca Blossom Spring into Action Trade Show, April 2nd and 3rd. This invitation paid for by Holly Frontier Navajo Refining Company, a proud member of our community.
Competition is a big thing, especially when your child plays sport. My child comes home from practice saying, I beat so-and-so in this, or I was faster at least more than 2 people today. As a parent, I simply am thankful to watch her compete and thrive to do better for herself. But for her, everything is a competition. Even the late, great Dale Earnhardt said that second is the first loser. Sometimes competition can suck the life out of you. You know what? Running the race in the spiritual world is different. Running the race is about keeping the faith. And oh, how we could use a little pep talk on keeping the faith these days. A guy in the Bible named Paul wrote a letter to his young disciples saying, I have fought the fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Finishing makes all the difference when it comes to God. So if you are thinking about throwing in the towel, remember, just hang on and keep running the race. God will be there in the end.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Procrastinators Club of America newsletter is called Last Month's Newsletter. Their first newsletter should be released any day now. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the City of Roswell, Public Affairs Director Juanita Jennings back with us, and also joining us to talk a lot about cool stuff here. What's your official title, Ray? I probably should have asked that before we went on air. Pull that mic up there where they can hear
I'm
you.
the marketing and events coordinator.
There you go. I almost called you Kirby Puckett now. I'm sure you get that before, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. About the same.
There's a more famous Puckett out there. You just have to be a pretty good baseball player. But Renee, no relation, I'm assuming.
No.
Well, good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
We're doing great.
The weather's nice. I think people...
I don't know if the weather's nice. It's cold. It's hot. But today's supposed to be great.
Nice. Yeah,
and this weekend is supposed to be beautiful. So bring on the sun.
I think it works for what we're going to talk about, because the weather next couple of days are going to put people in the mood to think about things like UFO Festival and fun activities and opportunities downtown and all that kind of stuff. So, which we got a plethora of coming up here.
We do.
Do you want to? What do we want to talk first? UFO Festival? You want to talk about some other stuff?
I think we should talk about UFO Festival. So today, I came with Renee, and Renee is kind of leading the charge for this year's UFO Festival, of course, with our public affairs team.
Mm-hmm.
And we have an announcement to share. We launched it on Monday, but we're here to give you guys a little bit more detail. So I'm going to let Renee
this is the official
talk about it.
Very good. So lay the scoop on us.
So on Monday, we announced our main concert that we're going to be having, the lineup, Midland, William Clark Green, and Lacey K. Booth.
Very cool.
Will be the supporting artist.
Nice.
We're excited about that.
And Midland, the headliner for the event.
Midland will be the headliner, yes. And
very cool.
But I think it'll be nice to have Lacey there, too, because we'll have a female artist.
Of course, Midland's a major country band. It's been around for years. Wouldn't it be ironically funny if there was also a country band called Roswell that would be performing in Midland during the UFO Festival weekend?
That would be great. That would be We should start a band.
Call it Roswell.
I can play keyboards.
You don't want me singing or doing anything musical.
She's like, I'm the band manager. I can do that.
I'm behind the scenes. That's the best.
But cool, and they've been to Roswell in the past, so they probably got a good little following. I mean, they're a national, major artists, so they're known internationally. But because they've been to Roswell, it's been a while, but I'm sure they got a little bit more of a following here than some other towns, just because they spent time here playing in front of our crowds and stuff. It's been a while, but they've done it before. So
it was really interesting. Our social media post on Monday, we had over 200 and some shares just on that post, which was by far the largest, even from last year's festival, which is fantastic. Of course, our goal is to increase engagement and get people to hear about Roswell, want to come to Roswell.
Sure.
And so we're really grateful to have a talent of this caliber come and participate in the festival.
Absolutely.
Also, the tickets are reasonable. It's $15 for general admission, but we do have some VIP tables set up in front of the stage. So if somebody wants to
a little bit more experience out of it and get a little more personal, and I imagine the tables, there's probably food and stuff involved and things like that.
Yeah, we're going to have a beer garden out there, and we're going to have food vendors and things like that. So
they have a place to sit there with the VIP stuff, which the others will have access to, but you get to enjoy the concert out in the lawn there, where if you want the VIP experience, you can sit at the table there, and just depending on what you're into. If you're wanting a more picnic-like thing with the family, then probably just get a spot out in the grass out there. But if you want something where you're not sitting on a blanket for a couple hours, you want to sit in a chair, something, or have a table in front of you while you enjoy your meal, then you get that option as well too. So
I think those tickets are going to sell pretty quick. We don't have a ton of them.
Okay, so
they're
get
limited.
them early.
So if anybody wants VIP tickets, they need to get them.
Okay.
Probably pretty quick.
Now, for tickets for all this through the Roswell Connect website, or is there the UFO Festival website that we need to go through?
UFOfestival.com for everything UFO Festival.
Okay.
All tickets, all events. We have some really great community partners that we're working with, and they're hosting different things throughout the city. So their information will be also on that website.
Okay.
As they give us the information, we're putting it up there.
As we add and more acts and opportunities sign on to the UFO Festival things, as we get some of the folks that like to come every year and do things downtown or stuff like that, as we get those added to the mix here over the next couple weeks. I was gonna say months, but I was like, it's not
weeks.
We're down to months till the event is happening here.
Yeah. We're almost at 100 days. So
I know March will be over here in next week, and then we're gonna be in April, and then June's right after that. Oh man, it's gonna be happening quick.
Time goes by so fast.
It's gonna be fun though, and that's the great thing is, once again, you guys are. I mean, the UFO Festival itself is again encompassing the city. Not just. I mean, sure, there's plenty going on kind of in the Main Street downtown corridor here, but really with Galacticon, all the other events that are kind of tied with UFO Festival, there's pretty much the entire town's going UFO Festival or UFO Festival events all weekend.
Right.
So
our strategy again this year was really to try to get visitors to have an interactive experience.
Yeah.
Instead of just sightseeing, we want them sight doing. We want them to engage with our community, whether we take them out to the zoo or send them to the golf course for the night glow, giving them an experience like the night sky event out at Bottomless Lakes, where they get a guided tour, they get to see and do something at the same time.
I love that. Yeah.
That's our goal, is we want them doing those things and then telling their friends, and then those friends come back, stay in our hotels, eat in our restaurant, and buy all of our stuff.
It's kind of like that thing we locals been saying. It's like, come for the aliens and stay for everything else.
Sure.
It's like, sure, if the little, I'm going to say gray men to keep the historical side of the UFOologist side happy here. But if people are coming for the little gray men, then great. But if they get here and they're like, oh man, I didn't realize all the other history that was here, or all the other opportunities here, or, I didn't realize they had, the Bitter Lake, Bottomless Lakes, all those out just right outside of town here. Then we get into, our historical districts and the museums and the zoo and all the things that a city of our size normally doesn't get to enjoy.
Right.
Let's face it, you go to the average 50,000 population community, they're not relying on their own jails, own airports, so you know what I mean?
Right.
They're tied in with another entity or municipality. And so we have a lot of uniqueness there, and so they get to come and see that. But just even like the Walker Air Force Base Museum and all that side of stuff, they come and learn about aliens, and they say, oh man, look at the role this community served during World War II, or the POW MIA stuff that's around town. They get to learn about some of our lesser known history when they come and visit here. And hopefully they come and stay at our bed and breakfasts and visit our shops and come and eat in our restaurants and do all those things. And so it's all good for the community. So the more we get to expose them to our community, hopefully they come back, in the fall or when it's not UFO Festival time to come. Maybe they're going to be in the mountains for the weekend, but they're going to stay in Roswell to, eat, shop, and do that kind of stuff. And then, that's
Right.
what we want to show them and showcase and not such to say, look, we're a great little, we are kind of an isolated community as a bedroom community for everyone else, but at the same time we're surrounded. We got our own cool stuff, but everything else is just within a stone throw of, if you want to go, hey, use Roswell as your stepping point. You want to go off and make a day trip to Carlsbad or go to Lincoln or whatever it is. Use Roswell as that jump off point.
Yep.
So, but anyway, that's kind of what we show off. And I got way down a tangent there.
That's okay.
I guess that's why they gave me a radio show. Like, this guy talks. Put him on the radio. But as far as some of the things you guys have locked in right now, as far as events and things, is there some we can share yet, or is it still a little early for those now announcements?
No, we do. We have we're going to have a Galaxy Fair at the convention center outside.
Okay.
So we're going to have some bands playing out there on Friday. That'll start at 1:00 on Friday.
Okay.
And we'll have bands throughout the day. We have fire dancers. We have some events for kids like a circus camp.
Okay.
We've got Power Plays is going to come and put up their foam bounce house thing.
Okay.
It's
Again,
like a
that interactive experience is what we're looking for kids, for families, for adults.
Yeah.
Inside the convention center, Galacticon is going to be there.
Yeah.
You're going to see the Roswell Daily Record. They're going to have some speakers.
Okay.
The International UFO Museum, they're going to have their speakers. So we're trying again to target a variety of audiences.
Sure.
Those true believers, have stuff for kids, have stuff for adults. Our Galaxy Cantina will be out on the courtyard of the convention center.
That's kind of like a food court or
beer.
It's a beer garden.
Beer garden.
A beer garden with food, of course. We'll have some food vendors out there. But that'll be like the pickup and drop off of one of our events. You want to tell them about that
Yes,
event?
Alien Crawl. That's going to be really neat.
Okay.
So we're going to have a bus that comes and picks up people.
Okay.
And they're going to take them through town and go visit different restaurants.
Okay. So it's kind of like
A taste of Roswell.
Yeah, if you're an out of towner, you get to sample everything, and I guess if you're local, you can kind of, I don't know, use it as an opportunity to just get a bunch of our local favorites here, and then decide which one's your favorite after the end here. But very cool. I love those, and that gives it, because that way it gives people a chance to try a little everything and see everything. And the only problem is, if you're kind of a gluttonous pig like me, you end up overdoing it at every location, and then you're hurt when you're done. But that's my problem, not everybody else.
You can sit out on the lawn and enjoy the sun when you're done.
But yeah, that's awesome. I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
And it really gives a chance for our local restaurants and establishments to kind of showcase what they do. And we really have a great collection of businesses, restaurants, and things that do. I mean, you just look on our DoorDash and you see these restaurants that we have locally and some of the fairs they offer, and now there's a chance for you to kind of go visit that. So I mean, that's a great tourist thing to do, but I think locals would dig that as much, if not more, than the tourists probably would.
So it's our first pilot project. One of our strategic plans for the visitor centers, we've always wanted to be that tourism destination, their first point of contact. And we had asked for a trolley, asked for a bus, because I think from a DMO standpoint, we need to provide those touring options.
Sure.
So with our new app, it's called Visit Widget. It launches in a couple of weeks.
All right.
There will be a variety of tours that will be offered. So we're piloting it with the biggest event of the year, which I don't know if that is the best idea, but why not, right? And
go big or go home, right?
Yeah. So we hope not only will it be at festival, but it's something that we can continue through the visitor center.
Sure.
People can sign up as they're coming to Roswell. They can continue to do that alien crawl.
Absolutely.
As we set it up a few times a month.
Absolutely.
And we'll be adding to it. We're doing a mural tour that will be on there through the mobile app. I guess this is a good segue, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Through the mobile app, people will download it.
Okay.
There will be tours, and then there will be what's called challenges. And
Okay.
this is an opportunity to get people in our shops in the downtown district, in our attractions that maybe are not in our downtown district,
Gotcha.
like our laser tag that's kind of a little bit hidden, but somewhere, out
Once
there.
you find it, you're like, I just
This
found
is
a gold mine.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly. Taking people, up north to Bitter Lakes. So giving them all the tools and resources on their mobile device as they move around our community, that the map that they're on, it'll ping where they should go. If they're looking for a restaurant, if they're looking for, an activity to do, if
That's
they're looking
great.
for art. So there'll be different collections of tours. We're still in the process. We're in beta testing. I think we just did our soft launch on our staff side.
Sure.
We'll be adding to it. And we
great.
did do a call for businesses. If you would like to be included, please send us. We need a JPEG or a PNG file of
Especially
your
if you're
logo.
off the beaten path, if you're not on our main arteries, but you're one of those, especially restaurants and things that are on main or on
Right.
second or some of their main arteries, or like you said, your Area 52s, those places
Yes.
like that. They would benefit perfectly because that gets those out-of-towners looking to get off the beaten path and
Right.
looking for hidden gems. It kind of gives them a roadmap to do that. So,
Absolutely.
That's cool.
So that is coming out, and again, this was part of the strategy with UFO Festival last year. We had a lot of learned lessons in our first year and things that we shouldn't do, and one of them was that communication. How do we communicate with the people that are currently here right now?
Sure.
When we had that horrible rain and the floods, it was kind of hurry up and scramble. And so this was something that came out of our occupancy tax board as a recommendation. And so we're really excited that Public Affairs can bring this to the visitors that are coming here.
Absolutely. And I think this would be a great tool for not just, potentially in the future. Like you said, we're using it for UFO Festival, kind of starting that off. But at the end of the day, all of our community-wide major events, like when, like you mentioned Bitter Lake earlier, when the Dragonfly Festival happens in the fall, they can kind of tailor stuff around that. So people that are coming to our town for Dragonfly Festival now say, oh, by the way, check out this restaurant over here, or go check out Area 52 over here, or hey, this place has got a Dragonfly Festival special this weekend. Come on down and check them out. You can definitely use that, or Chili Cheese Fest when that happens, or fair time when everyone's here for the fair. We can use that to direct them around to places. It really is something that we can use not just for UFO Festival, but for pretty much every little thing we have. If they start doing the hike it, spike it, those kind of things, if they start, I know COVID world just messed everything up, but
It did.
if all these things eventually start happening again, we can use these as tools for that to get more of Roswell exposed to out-of-towners and to be honest, in-towners too. How many of us learn things all the time? I've been here my whole life, didn't know that place was there.
Yeah.
You can use this as a program to kind of explore your own community a little bit too. So
Exactly. And the greatest thing on the app is, there's got to be some skin in the game for why is somebody going to go download it and do these things? Obviously, they want to do something. But if they do them, the challenge is on the app, it'll give them kind of like a badge. It's almost like geocaching. And then they come to the visitor center and we'll give them their challenge coin that they've received because they've gone into 3 shops in the downtown district or they've done 3 activities.
It's kind of like a rewards program you'd see at like a restaurant or something like that. Yeah, very cool, which is the carrot to dangle to say, hey, come use our... And I think that would even be great. Because I think if I'm an out-of-towner coming to visit and you find this thing, it's going to be a godsend. But I think that would even encourage locals to get on and download it and use it as well, too.
Yes.
Because I know this is kind of a tool to get outsiders to come learn about, but I think it's just as good a tool as... Because I don't know how many times I talk to people that have been living here forever and they don't know about some stuff that I'm like... I figured everybody knew that, and you're like, no, I'm wrong on that. A lot of people didn't. So I think it's a win-win on both sides of that coin for the locals and for our out-of-town friends and family and things like that. So pretty good.
Well, we're excited about it.
Good deal. So look for UFO Festival time to really kind of debut it and see, take a test drive with this thing and see what you can do and what possibilities are there too. And plus, it sounds like it's fluid. So like as you guys evolve or events evolve and things evolve, you guys can evolve with it and go technology with it. And that's and unfortunately older folks like guys 50s, 60s, unfortunately the technology is the way of the world, and I know we like to do things the old way sometimes, or call, or ask questions that way, but in reality, that's not the way the world's going now. People, families, especially your 20s and 30-somethings, your families now, they're all relying on apps and, whatever, Travelocities, this and that, and whatever they're doing. So basically, Roswell's saying, you know what, we're going to provide our own, basically, electronic guide to Roswell and do it that way. So it really is a cool tool that I think once it takes off and everything, and then folks that aren't so technologically savvy, once they see it in action, will understand it and be a little. But young folks are probably wrapping their head around this and get exactly what you're talking about. Us crotchety folks are a little bit like, what? Who's going to do that? It's like, trust me, there's a lot of people that would do that.
Yes.
It's just we're still the same people that actually go through the channel guide and going, what's on channel 17? And
well, it's kind of like that. It's like, what is there to do in Roswell? And you just kind of scroll through it.
And I'm one of those people, because I do it every, and I sit there and I wonder why. Because I'll sit there, like, you get home or whatever, and you're not sure. And I got satellite, and I got like 200 channels, and I'm still that idiot going, 22, 23. Yeah. These kids are like, what? They're going right, cut the cord. They're going right to.
Sure.
I'm one of those people that I don't know what I want to watch yet. Sometimes I just I don't know, whatever you present me is what I want to watch, And
sure.
And so, but that's older generation mindset versus a younger, and this is one of those moments like that. Mm-hmm. So it'll be cool for folks that don't quite get the idea behind this. It's one of those things that in a year from now, when it's fully up, you're going to be okay. Now it makes sense, but unless you are in that world, it's probably a little hard to wrap your head around it.
Yeah.
So, but it's pretty cool. I do like. So, UFO Festival. I'm kind of curious. Like how much of that is? Because I know from like web design and all on this side, a lot of it is. You have to submit to someone. For you guys, is this the way that program? And this is just me curious about inside baseball.
Sure.
Is that something that you guys get to work? Like if you want to finagle the app or add information or change offers or specials or geofence something or whatever you want to do with the app, is that something that you guys can do, you as city employees, or where you have to go to the contractor and say, hey, we want, that's cool.
Nope, we will.
So you got total control of it, basically.
We will have back-end access. We've done some training. We had our initial training with our staff, our visitor center team. We call them guest services. They're kind of our brand ambassadors.
Okay.
They will be our frontline people making the updates, making the changes, uploading the graphics.
Okay.
And then, of course, our marketing, professionals will help and assist them.
Okay.
Making sure that, images are the right size, are the right format, making sure the links are working. But it's really a user-friendly program. The company that we partnered with, they supported us and helped us go through like Google, the Android and Apple on those stores, and will help maintain it from the programming side.
Okay.
That is something that we won't do. But as far as the content, we will be the content generators.
So obviously if there's updates to the app and the software and how it works, that's on them. But
correct.
But when you want to promote something or get something to the people that use the app, that's all you guys. That's all your control.
All us.
That's cool, because I was wondering about that, because sometimes, and I know technology is allowing it to be more, controlled in the hands of the client here, but that's not always the case, where you guys have to go, all right, I got to get on the phone with the web mistress or whatever it is to get that done, and sometimes that.
And that's what is really important to us as public affairs. We want to be able to change things rapidly. We're kind of like a newsroom almost, with the information coming out. We have, 28 different departments. So we have an internal communication strategy, and then we have that external. For the visitor side, it's a little bit more planned out.
Gotcha.
For internal, things happen so fast and change so fast.
That makes sense.
We're testing this out again. It's a pilot project for the visitor side. Not to say we wouldn't have something on the internal side. But again, like you said, could it be used for both? Probably, yes.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe this spawns other ideas for the utility or citizen side of things, where we have an app. And I know we have some convenient ways to report outages or road issues. Maybe that goes that way as well for citizens. Like, hey, here, get on the app and report a pothole or a power outage or pay your water bill or what's the city council meeting agenda? Here's the schedule right here.
There's one in the pipeline for sanitation.
Cool.
So
Very
they
good.
are currently working on something that I think the citizens will really enjoy.
Yeah.
Easy tool.
Yeah, I think that's great. It's all about communicating and getting the information and the opportunities to, and it's a two-way street. Communicating the community, communicating with the city, and the city communicating with the community.
Absolutely.
So, very cool.
Yeah.
I want to. I know I'm jumping around here, but I want to get back to UFO Festival. One thing that I wanted to ask, one of the more popular things is the costume contests and everything. The pet costume and the human costume contest. Those are one of the more popular things. Those are happening as usual this year and everything.
Same down at the
Good
courthouse.
deal. I just know.
Main
I know.
Street.
As far as locals go, that's probably one of the more popular local participation events. 'Cause,
absolutely.
It's something. I don't know what it is. Something about people loving to put dogs in space costumes. It's just. I don't know. We just see it. It's like, oh, that dog needs a space costume.
Absolutely. So there'll be, I think the costume contest will be on Friday night at the courthouse lawn, provided by Main Street Roswell, and I think sponsored by Galacticon. I might have that confused, but then pet costume contest is Saturday, I believe, at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Again, put on by Main Street in partnership with UFO Festival, and then sponsored by Galacticon.
Very cool.
So,
I
believe.
The thing we need to do is go to the UFO Festival website and keep kind of staying, keep checking back periodically over the next couple of weeks here, because more as you guys lock down more and more parts of the festival, you'll see those additions come up onto that schedule there. And of course, I imagine if you want to be a vendor or participate in any way, shape, or form, you'll find the applications and process there through the UFO Festival website as well, too.
Yes, absolutely. And sponsors, vendors, and also volunteers. We need volunteers.
Like I would think, with the concerts and all the stuff going on, some of these food trucks might want to be hanging out in some of these places, and Roswell, I ain't gonna lie, it's blown up with the food truck quality. Like we've gotten so many, like the Cajun, the barbecue, to Asian. We're pretty covered in food
We're
trucks
getting
there.
requests for people that aren't even in Roswell to be a part of this UFO Festival. Food trucks that are coming from other communities and even vendors. We had, I think, 2 that came in from like West Texas that I think they've seen the impact that the UFO Festival has. And this year, the way we're doing vendors, I'm going to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Non-food vendors are $150. They get to pick their location. So whether they want to be in the downtown area and Pioneer area.
Wherever they feel they can best make money.
If they want to be at the convention center area, first come, first serve. So you pick your location as soon as it comes in.
Stake your claim.
Date and time stamp it. And then for those food trucks, it's $300 to participate. Of course, they have to go through the inspection for health and fire and things like that.
Everything above board there.
I can't stress enough, it is first come, first serve, because we only have so many spaces.
So the time to reserve is now, not June.
Correct. June 1st, it will be too late.
Gotcha.
Like I said, we're having communities or vendors and food trucks from different communities already wanting to participate in ours.
And I imagine that, if for folks that don't know, that the past UFO festivals and the spotlight that gets shown on that, I imagine is the reason for that little bit. I mean, for folks that don't remember, UFO festivals in the past have been featured on like Carnival Eats and various shows like that. So people kind of look at it in some lights, kind of like the Texas State Fair. You know how everyone talks about the fried foods at the Texas State Fair, and so you probably got thanks to these shows and things, you get a little outside looking in. People like, oh, that's a food mecca, the UFO Festival. So it's not just for the aliens, but they come and say they try the the dino eggs or the alien eggs and all the cool little food things that people make and all that stuff too. So I think that, like you said, those out of town or out of requests is a direct result of some of that.
They're signing up. They're putting in their form, putting in their check. We're putting them what slot do you want?
Yeah.
So,
which is great because and that's fun for the locals.
Yeah.
Because now you get to try new foods and things that you don't normally see. I'm telling you, the food truck ingenuity game. I always learn how great it is when we have events like this. Like I think it was it last year's UFO Festival, the year before? A guy had a whole brick oven pizza in a trailer.
Yes,
and it was
from Carlsbad.
Yeah,
they're one of them.
Amazing,
So
and the
really
pizza's good, by the way.
Yes.
It's like homemade Italian pizza by some guy in a trailer on the street. It's really impressive.
Yes, we're super excited. And again, for our locals, I know food trucks have been kind of a weird hot topic. Please come chat with us. We are food truck friendly. We want to chat with you. The person who oversees our food truck program, his name is Kevin Mavers. He is willing
just on the other day
to work with everybody. But for UFO Festival, they come through Renee, and she will be more than happy to take care of them and get them signed up.
Renee, what's your direct line there? Of course, you can always call City Hall, and they'll.
Yes, you can. It's 637-6239.
Yeah, I know it. You never call it. So you're like, wait a minute.
Right.
And of course, as always, the city has, the Facebook page and website. There's always ways to reach out and communicate through the city here. And I'll remind you once again, when it comes to like city. Like you want to pay your water bill or have questions about city council or anything, roswell-nm.gov, you're going to find everything you need there. When it comes to kind of the recreation side of Roswell, if you want to say get a season pass to the aquatic center or purchase tickets for an event at the zoo or something like that, roswellconnect.com is going to be your website for all of that. And then of course, everything we just talked about with UFO Festival is
UFOfestival.com.
There you go. I always think I know it, but I'm afraid if I say it, I'm going to be just slightly
It's really easy. UFOfestival.com.
It's so easy that I'm afraid I'm going to goof it up. That's what it is. I'm like, I'm like Roswell UFO. No, UFOfestival.com. Go there, and I'm sure you'll find a link at Connect and the city's website to that UFO. So if you don't remember that, if you go to either one of the places you normally know, you'll find a link to take you to where you're there. But if you want to participate, again, now's the time to sign up. You want to be a food vendor, if you want to volunteer to help sponsor, still looking for sponsorships, and really the volunteers are a great thing, and I'm sure we'll talk a little more with Kathy next hour about volunteering. But
ask her about the new volunteer value program.
Very good. So
we hope we can implement. We're taking it back to talk about internally, but hopefully our new council will want to do something like that because we think it's a really great program.
Yeah, good deal. Well, yeah, it is. It's because it's a win-win because you're in essence creating potential future, city people, and you're showing them the ropes and showing them how to do it. And if they take a love and interest for it, next thing you know, these are the people that are your next city engineers and city, those people that maybe the community doesn't know directly, but you'd know real quick if their stuff didn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like offensive linemen. You never know their name till they commit a penalty. If they do nothing, if you never hear their name, they're doing an amazing job. That's we got a lot of those folks in our city. So. Yep. Good deal. Is there any information that we wanted to share or anything that we got sidetracked on? Or
you want to tell them about some sponsorships that are available?
Yeah.
Yes. So we have we built a deck for sponsorship that was mainly geared towards national.
Okay.
Looking for national sponsors, but we have a lot of opportunities for local businesses to. Also,
and they're on different tiers, just so folks know.
Different tiers.
If you come on the national one, you're like, whoa, that's a little rich for my blood. It's like, well. That's for guys like Coca-Cola. We're not talking about your business, We're talking about, national, international companies and things like that. So.
Right. And also, if somebody wants to we're looking also for gifts in kind of sponsorship. So, ice or, whatever.
Like trade or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Value in trade kind of thing. Yeah, because... if you can't cut a check, but, it's like, hey, I can supply you ice. That's a godsend. Anybody that's been to a UFO festival... Things like ice and water are highly coveted because it's July, it gets a little warm.
Right. Or even being involved in some of our activities that we're doing, like with the kids.
Sponsor one of the events or things, or
yeah, exactly.
Or even with maybe you want to add to that, and you've got an idea that's part of something in there, and you want, but don't wait till June to start incorporating it. Now's the time to get those, and maybe you're a business and say, man, I'd like to do a special. During that festival, can we incorporate as part of the city stuff? And it's like, yeah, we can definitely do that. Let's talk.
And I think that's the beauty of the sponsorship, where it's not super specific right now because we want to tailor it to the needs of the potential business that is interested in sponsoring. They may want to sponsor the main stage at the concert, or maybe they want to sponsor the extraterrestrial life exhibit at the zoo, or the glow in the golf tournament. Maybe it's just a whole sponsor. Maybe it's a presenting type of sponsorship. So again, just reach out to Renee. You can contact her 624-6700 and she can go through and see how will it meet your needs to be a win-win for both of us.
And I'll tell you, if you want to sponsor something specific like that, we got a lot of out-of-towners that participate in these, but we get a lot of locals too. So if you are a mom and pop and you're thinking, I'm trying to advertise to local market, well, guess what? They're golfing in the tournament. They're running in the races. They're participating in the costume contests and all that too. So you're hitting your target.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit bigger than probably you initially thought.
Our local sponsorship packages start at $250 all the way up to as much as you would like to contribute. So.
Very good. Again, will all that information be on the UFO Festival website? Very good. But then if you want to call, set up an appointment, talk, and Renee will be happy to sit down and kind of break down the specifics or talk about your specific needs and customize to what works best for you.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Excellent. Anything else? Do we get all?
I think we got everything. Today we really wanted to talk about UFO Festival.
Mark it on your calendars. Get ready.
July 1st. It's coming. And then next month we'll talk about 4th of July because that's like the next big one. So.
Literally right on the heels of it. So.
Yes.
Very good. Well, thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. And nice to meet you, Renee. And,
thank you. Nice to meet you.
Hopefully I get to see you again before now and then because your job's about to get a little busier over the next couple months here.
Yes.
You're one of those people that mid-July, you're like, vacation, Juanita, I'm taking vacation.
Absolutely.
And Juanita's like,
I'm with her.
She's like, you got to beat me out the door first.
Yes.
I get it. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Have a great week, and we'll see you next time, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, it is 8:55. Let's go ahead and do a quick news update and quick break before, more news. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cerello. Thanks for joining us. A Roswell man is being held for his 9th drunk driving offense after allegedly fleeing the scene of an accident on Monday. Jail records show 14 criminal charges against 55-year-old Ronnie Garcia. Police responded to South Meadowbrook and East Alameda for the report of a crash, but found the wrecked vehicle was abandoned. Garcia was found in a nearby field, passed out, police said. He appeared in court Wednesday to hear the charges against him. He's being held in the Chaves County Jail on a $20,000 cash bond. And the man accused of killing his girlfriend in Roswell has pleaded not guilty. 34-year-old Jorge Rico Rivera is blamed for the death of Isela Mauricio Salazar. He's also charged with child abuse for leaving the couple's child locked in their home with the mother's dead body. Rico Rivera was captured in Mexico with the couple's son, who is now with other family members. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cerello reporting.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The European Union is looking to the United States to help reduce its reliance on Russian energy and will be discussing major shipments of liquefied natural gas over the next 2 years during a meeting with President Biden on Thursday. The talks will focus on how to prioritize liquefied natural gas deliveries from the United States to the European Union in the coming months. A joint venture between Stellantis and South Korea's LG Energy Solution plans to build a large electric vehicle battery factory in Windsor, Ontario, employing about 2,500 people just across the river from Detroit. The venture plans to spend $4.1 billion to build the new plant on a field in the Canadian city. It's expected to open in early 2024 and will be able to make battery cells and modules for over 500,000 electric vehicles per year. The plant will supply batteries for a significant portion of Stellantis' North American production. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
This time of year, we all like to have fun talking about four-leaf clovers, rabbit's feet, and the luck of the Irish. But when it comes to finding a nice pre-owned vehicle you can really count on, you need more than just luck. You need a dealer like Roswell Ford. Here at the Tailgate Nation, we have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in southeastern New Mexico. Great-looking late-model pickups, SUVs, sports cars, and family sedans. But more important than how they look is how they run, so Roswell Ford puts every one through a rigorous 139-point inspection. On top of that, Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee, so if you find something you don't like, you can just bring it back. That's a lot more than luck. That's true peace of mind. And if you really have a nice car or truck you'd like to sell, please bring it by. We'll look it over and make you an offer on the spot. So when you're ready to move up to a newer vehicle, don't take chances. Come see your friends at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation, at the corner of 9th and Main, and leave your rabbit's foot at home.
At LeGrand Funeral Chapel, we believe that every funeral should be a reflection of the life it honors. The joys, the triumphs, the faith, the family, and so much more. For us, no detail is too small, no request too big. This is Rosa Aguilar. When the time comes to choose a funeral home, we hope you'll let us serve your family. At LeGrand Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Ukraine's wartime leader has addressed the NATO Emergency Summit in Brussels. President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke via video link as he appeals for a global show of solidarity with Ukraine.
The acts of terror against peaceful people go on. 1 month already. That's long. It breaks my hearts of all Ukrainians and every free person on the planet.
Ukraine's military continues the fight. Ukrainian forces say they have destroyed a large Russian warship docked west of Mariupol. And more sanctions being imposed on Russia. G7 leaders restricting the Russian central bank's use of gold in transactions, while the U.S. has announced a new round of sanctions targeting more than 400 elites and members of the Russian State Duma. Washington is also increasing its humanitarian aid by taking in 100,000 Ukrainian refugees and providing an additional $1 billion in food, medicine, water, and other supplies. The Salem Radio Network, parent company of Town Hall News, is working with two major nonprofit organizations to rush food, water, and emergency supplies to millions of Ukrainian refugees. More information at srnnews.com. The United States strongly condemning North Korea's test of a long-range ballistic missile.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki called the launch a brazen violation of UN Security Council resolutions. She said President Biden and his national security team are assessing the situation in close coordination with allies and partners. The White House statement said the door has not closed on diplomacy, but Pyongyang must immediately cease its destabilizing actions.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. On Wall Street this morning, stocks are trading higher right now. The Dow is up 167 points, the Nasdaq ahead 56, and the S&P is up 26. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm cute kid number 1. And I'm cute kid number 2. And we have been forced, you mean hired? We have been hired to tell you what direct lender FOMO is. So let's say you buy a new home, and maybe you use one of those big mortgage monsters.
Or someone your realtor or friend recommends.
And then a few months later,
You hear us being forced,
hired
to tell you about our mortgage team's direct lender advantage.
And then you feel like you missed out.
Because you probably did miss out.
And that is direct lender FOMO.
It's Ryan, and our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions within its own walls. There's no middleman. This often allows us to get you a better rate on that new home mortgage, saving you monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLS Consumer Access.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Record NMLS number 65233. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
On a visit to Jamaica, Britain's Prince William decries the evils of slavery.
Slavery in Jamaica involved the brutal exploitation of hundreds of thousands of enslaved Africans when the country was a British colony. Speaking to the great and the good of Jamaican society, Prince William said he strongly agreed with his father, Prince Charles, who described slavery as an appalling atrocity that forever stains our history. Before he spoke, William was told by the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, that an independent country was his ambition. Jamaica is currently a realm with the Queen as its head of state.
That's BBC's Johnny Diamond. China's foreign minister makes a surprise stop in Kabul to meet Afghanistan's Taliban rulers. This as many other countries denounce the hardline movement's broken promise to open schools to girls beyond grade 6. News and analysis at townhall.com. A recent poll suggests that President Biden and congressional Democrats face big challenges in the upcoming midterms.
The poll, conducted by the National Republican Congressional Committee, found that among voters in 77 battleground congressional districts across the country, President Biden's approval rating sat 15 points underwater. According to the survey, 40% of voters in those districts, which Mr. Biden won in 2020 by a net of 5.5 points, approved of the job the president is doing, while 55% disapprove. A narrow focus on Mr. Biden's approval rating found that 45% of voters strongly disapprove of the president's performance, while only 17% strongly approve. Bernie Bennett reporting.
The latest weekly jobs report is out this morning. First-time claims for benefits fell 28,000 to 187,000 last week. Applications for unemployment benefits fell to the lowest level since 1969. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. I miss the Irish Spring commercials.
All right. You know what? I love how we start our hours. It's hour number 1 of this show literally started with the phrase "donkey lip the weekend," which I'm still trying to make a thing.
If you take that back or bring it out.
And I do remember the commercials you're talking about.
Yeah, I kind of miss them.
Although I'll say this, I was more impacted by the Zest commercials.
Zestfully clean.
Growing up, because the towel that he had that had the zest on it. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
Yeah.
It's just the passion they put into that song.
But those, like, the ones where they show, like, the Irish Spring and the green and, like, the rainforesty kind of. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, I want that soap.
I will say this.
I want to smell like a rainforest.
Up until recently, I have been a lifelong Irish Spring man.
Yeah?
Up until recently. And it's always been my favorite soap because it's got a...
I got reminded of another old school.
It's got a clean rinse. Oh, if we're talking about soap commercials, one of my all-time favorites was Lever 2000.
Oh, yeah?
Where they talked about their 2000 parts, what parts are you counting?
Yeah.
Are you counting middle webbing of fingers? And, okay, what about the internal? Is my soap washing my spleen?
Maybe.
What the heck's happening there? But yeah, no,
That's zestfully clean.
I always have used Irish Spring because it's got a clean rinse. It doesn't feel like a film.
Now, were you old enough to remember the Calgon commercials, or were those a little before your time?
Well, they were like towards the end of like their run was when I came along, or was like conscious.
Yeah,
but
those
yeah,
were
the one with the bubbles where it took the bath.
Yeah, and it was always the woman at the end. Calgon, take me away. Yeah,
I do remember those.
I weigh those right up there with Ancient Chinese Secret, huh?
Yeah, that's what you can't
the
get away
laundry
with.
soap. Yeah, what soap was that?
Was it a laundry soap?
Yeah, it was a laundry soap, and it was like, "What's your secret?" And they said, "It's Ancient Chinese Secret."
Was it
and then
Surf?
they find their no, it wasn't.
Hold on,
it's. I don't remember.
You know where you kind of get a little.
I feel like it's something that sounds like Calgon, but it's.
See, I'm gonna
it's
get
not.
put on a list for Googling this.
Well,
Thanks.
I can't remember which soap it was. I don't.
Slogan. Calgon. Oh, yeah, look at that. Calgon water softener. Ancient Chinese secret.
Was it Calgon also?
Apparently, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what it was. All right. Yeah. Do you remember those ads?
I don't, but because I've seen the reference so many times,
Yeah.
I do.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's like Cookie Puss.
Exactly.
I lived it, man.
Fudgy the
I
whale,
was there.
Cookie Puss.
I will, and this was. I used to. Never mind. Because there's another one that's a very obscure.
You know what?
But I like it too.
Where I kind of get a vibe for of sort of that age or that genre, that style of commercial is. Have you seen the commercials for Omega Mart?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
that doesn't ring a bell anyway.
Well, okay. So you know what Omega Mart is?
No.
Oh my God.
What is Omega Mart?
How do you not know? We need to have a whole dissertation on this.
Is that like a vitamin store? What are we talking about here?
In Las Vegas, in Area 15, there's a place now, Meow Wolf. You know about Meow Wolf?
I do know about Meow Wolf.
Meow Wolf has another installation in Las Vegas called Omega Mart.
Okay.
It is a grocery store from another dimension.
Oh, I think I may have heard of this. I didn't know that's what it's called.
The commercials for Omega Mart that you can find on YouTube have very much that same, like, they were recorded on VHS where like the music kind of dips, you know, you know, and then like weird stuff will happen in the commercials. Like there's one like if you were a loved one or if you were someone you know purchased Omega Mart lemons thinking they were in fact lemons, please return them to the store or put them in a lead-lined container and bury it somewhere far away from your home, something like that. But the commercials very much have that vibe of like 1980s.
Okay.
This week at Omega Mart, so they're super nostalgic.
So at the end of the day, what does a customer buy from them?
Well, it's
groceries or just nostalgic.
It's
Is it a
not
museum?
really. It's not really a store. It's basically like Meow Wolf. It's
Okay,
like
it's a museum.
Kinda.
Okay.
But they're
escape room
they're
museum,
telling a story. Like,
whatever
it's-
you want to call it. I don't know.
It's basically like it's art, but it's
Okay.
telling a story. In
Okay. I didn't know if you could actually buy
the store itself
groceries.
is like tied into this whole like scientific. It's hard to get into the whole explanation, but yeah, basically the side of the store is on the side of a portal to an alternate dimension.
Okay.
So it starts out, you're just like walking around looking at a store where all these products are like.
So it's an imagination, like a mission to Mars.
It's flipping crazy, man.
Okay.
I'm actually kind of excited that I get to show you this from the ground up because there's so much cool. And I'm going to Vegas in June.
Okay.
And I'm really, really excited because we get to go to Omega Mart. But I'll pull up some of the commercials and show you later. But it is.
Yeah, I've kind of sort of heard of it, but I don't really know.
It's very much got that like nostalgic feel to it, like with the commercials and stuff. I don't know why the soap commercials reminded me of that, but yeah,
I get it.
It's gonna be a good time.
Anyway, point is, Irish Spring.
Point is Irish Spring.
Yeah, you want to know if you really care? My soap of choice now is Dove Men's Care.
Can I give you a little pro tip?
Uh huh.
Now I'm gonna regret saying this because we both have cell phones in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Squatch.
Yeah, I've been curious about it. I just never
Telling
really
you, man,
got some.
Here's
you go
the
down
one,
to Zia Guns
Zia
and
Guns,
pick up me a
it's
soap bar.
$5.99 a bar. It's a little pricey for one bar, but the bar, it's a good sized bar and it lasts a while.
Yeah.
The pine tar one, phenomenal. I love the
You don't
smell.
smell like a baseball bat?
No, it smells so good.
Okay.
The only problem is it's going to leave a black ring around the bottom of your bathtub or shower.
Yeah, that's
But
out.
if you care about that stuff like that, then don't do it. But the pine tar one is so good.
All right, I'll give it a go.
Dr. Squatch.
I'll use my, and I use, never mind. I was going to tell you how my regime, but no one cares.
What really sucks about that is every time I'm thinking, okay, I need to go buy soap, it's a Saturday. And they're closed on Saturday. But they're open on Sundays.
Yep. So keep a spare bar of Irish Spring under the sink.
There you go.
When those moments happen. Kathy Lay is patiently waiting in the room
She
while
really
we
is, while we
talk
discuss
nonsense
soap.
here, all about soaps. But Kathy Lay, Keep Roswell Beautiful, and community volunteer coordinator with the city, going to join us here. Of course, the highlight of what we're talking about is getting your tree sapling on, but we'll talk about that and other things with Kathy here in just a little bit. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. So, before we do any of that, though, let's take a gander at that weather. It's now the official warm part of the week. Enjoy.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It'll be fair and mild today. We have high pressure settling in over eastern New Mexico. Looks like it'll hang around through the upcoming weekend. We'll be in the mid-70s on our afternoon high today. Lots of sun, clear for the overnight hours, and our low near 40. A little bit warmer on Friday. We'll hit the 80-degree mark with sunshine, and then it looks like upper 80s for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 44 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 27%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. Sunny today, 77 for a high with southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. So beautiful day. That's what I'd call it. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 41. Winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Warming up even more for you Friday. Sunny, 81 for a high tomorrow with northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 40. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. And your weekend, summer-like. Sunny, 87 for a high on Saturday. Winds out of the northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly sunny with a high of 89 on Sunday. And then we'll start next week in the upper 80s as well. 88 on Monday. Breezy and 76 on Tuesday with some rain chances, a 20% Tuesday night and into Wednesday. So we'll see how that shapes up. But warm. Enjoy it for the next couple days here. All right, it is 9:15. We're going to take a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then Kathy Lay will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Get smoking hot deals during the sizzling savings event at Roswell Nissan. Like a 2015 Ford F-150 for just $307 a month, or a 2010 Honda Odyssey for just $149 a month. And join Roswell Nissan March 26th from 10 to 1 for free food, stuff for the kiddos, and your chance to win a Masterbuilt 30-inch electric smoker. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test drive or service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing March 26th at 1, must be present to win. Get a Home Depot gift card with a test drive and a portable grill and a chance at the cash grab just for stopping by. On now at Roswell Nissan. 2111 West 2nd.
Competition is a big thing, especially when your child plays sport. My child comes home from practice saying, I beat so-and-so in this, or I was faster at least more than 2 people today. As a parent, I simply am thankful to watch her compete and thrive to do better for herself. But for her, everything is a competition. Even the late, great Dale Earnhardt said that second is the first loser. Sometimes competition can suck the life out of you. You know what? Running the race in the spiritual world is different. Running the race is about keeping the faith. And oh, how we could use a little pep talk on keeping the faith these days. A guy in the Bible named Paul wrote a letter to his young disciples saying, I have fought the fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Finishing makes all the difference when it comes to God. So if you are thinking about throwing in the towel, remember, just hang on and keep running the race. God will be there in the end.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
If your tires are flat, need your car fixed, our reviews are better than mixed at Big O. At Big O Tires. We do the job fast and with a smile. Whatever the problem, we go the extra mile at Big O. At Big O Tires. Trusted service, no need to lie. Hop online, our reviews are high at Big O. At Big O Tires. Unbeatable service in all our stores. That's why we get such high scores at Big O. At Big O Tires.
You can trust the team at Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in today and save up to $100 instantly on select in-stock sets of Cooper, Nitto, and Pirelli brand tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. Not valid with other offers. Valid at participating locations. Expires 3/27/2022.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Movie trailers were originally shown after the movie, which is why they're called trailers. Mike thought they named them after the mobile home. Here's Mike Winters.
Oop, I hope I hit the button right. And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Beefy finger just mashing around buttons and hitting the wrong one there. Joining us in the studio this morning from Keep Roswell Beautiful. Yep. And I always like to throw in the community, I guess say community volunteer.
Volunteers, all kinds of stuff.
Coordinator, amongst other things. Kathy Lay back with us. That's the important part. Kathy Lay back with us.
You remember my name.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Doing good.
Good.
And fortunately, today the weather's nice. So what we're about to talk about feels like something you want to do right now.
True enough.
Like if the other day when it was cold and rainy and we had this conversation, people may not be so receptive to it. But,
correct.
But now that it's sunny and they got a weekend of warm weather ahead.
Oh, and the trees are starting to blossom, and I'm seeing little pretty pink flowers on all the trees. Yeah. It's wonderful.
So springitis is starting to set in a little bit.
It's starting to hit me, that spring fever.
Yeah. So to help flame your fever for spring.
Yes.
City of Roswell is doing their annual Arbor Day event. This is
correct.
It's been going on for years now.
I believe it has. I don't know when it actually started.
As long as I can remember, but I know it's been for at least 10 years. I don't know.
And I know Keep Roswell Beautiful was a restarted program. It had been running before, and then they expanded. They did the Keep Chaves County Beautiful, and I think a couple of years ago, the city then restarted the Keep Roswell Beautiful program, and then they all started partnering with that Arbor Day event.
Yeah.
So they've been doing it since they did the restart.
Yeah. So and if you're not familiar, what this is one day, which will be one day,
April the 9th.
April 9th here.
Yes.
The city will be having an event where you can come down and get some free saplings.
Correct.
Free tree saplings.
Now these are bare root seedlings, is what they call them.
Okay.
They get them from the forestry department, helps us. We buy them from the forestry department, and wherever we can get them. Sometimes we have, like right now, we're scrambling, trying to get more of them.
Okay.
Because with the drought and with the supply chain interruptions and all that kind of stuff, they've been having trouble tracking down. They usually want to try to get 1,000.
Okay.
We've got 600 that we have arranged so far, and we're working on getting another 400. We want to have 1,000 by the 9th, and we're hoping, fingers crossed. But we know we've got 600 for sure.
Good deal. So we'll at least have 600 to give away, hopefully 1,000.
Yes, and these are bare root seedlings. They're in a little plastic bag.
Mm-hmm.
I did this one time back when I lived in Oklahoma, and they were like giving away free trees, and I shut up, and they were actually kind of cedar at the time. Mm-hmm. They're trees that are very hardy and made to grow in the area you're at.
They pick breeds or
specifically
types
ones that will be good for Roswell.
Yeah.
They look really small when you get them, but they grow quickly and they take root quickly, and they usually are pretty hardy and grow quick. You grow fast.
So you don't have to have a uber green thumb to make these work. Just
you got to
little
keep them
TLC
watered.
and you're going to have a nice thriving tree in your yard.
And they grow. Reuben, who is our city arborist, he is out at the cemetery. He works under the Parks Division, and he knows all about trees and planting. We have, if you go to our Facebook page, Keep Roswell Beautiful, make sure you do New Mexico. Go to Facebook, search Keep Roswell Beautiful, New Mexico. Our page will pop up. Under the events, we have the Arbor Day tree event, the seedling giveaway.
Okay.
And there's a video you can click on, and you'll see Reuben showing you how to plant these.
Okay, so it's like an instructional video.
Yeah, instructional video.
Okay.
This is a drive-through event.
So everybody that goes to the event, please watch that video for when it comes time for you to plant your tree.
And then we also have instructions for how to plant them as well.
Okay.
But these are little seedlings, and then you plant them, keep them watered, and he showed me some that they had planted just like 2-3 years ago, and they were already like 15, 20 feet high. I mean, I should say about 15 feet high, and starting to kind of branch out and stuff and look pretty
They look
hardy.
like trees.
They were real trees. I was like, oh my gosh. He said, people don't realize how quickly they can
Sure,
grow.
they're
And
hardy.
they will grow quickly. They are good for our area.
It's just like those little tadpoles and things when you see them, they're so tiny.
Yeah.
And then,
And they sprout
months
out.
later, they're a big old frog.
Yes, but we have those we're giving away. The way it'll work is we're at Cielo Grande Park, and that is out on 1612 West College Boulevard.
Yeah.
So if you're coming down Main Street, you hit College, go west.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's out there by just past the aquatic center.
Yeah, the soccer complex out there,
Yes.
the BLM property, it's all right in that little complex.
In the
there.
parking lot, we'll have cones set up and volunteers. And if you want to volunteer, by the way, we need help for volunteers.
Sure, the more the merrier.
The more the merrier. We'll be directing cars to go to the pickup location, and they will just drive up, roll down their window, and we'll hand them one of the bags. And we've got really cool stuff this year. It's really nice. Yeah.
Kathy was very kind enough to give me a preview bag.
Turn it
here.
around so they can see.
Here's the logo. On,
there you go. That's what we will give you, one of the Keep Roswell Beautiful bags. And those are reusable shopping totes. They got a pocket in the front. We also have gotten from the New Mexico Department of Transportation, NMDOT, has given us a bunch of the Toss No Moss car trash containers. They're the reusable ones. Here's my lovely
I'm a Vanna
assistant.
Vanna White here.
And we're going to give you one of those. They're those reusable ones you can put in the car over the headrest, and then you can throw trash in it so you don't have to throw it out.
Yeah.
And then Excel Energy has also been very generous and donated 500 boxes of these LED light energy efficient light bulbs.
I bet if I do this.
Yep. They're wonderful LED light bulbs from Excel Energy. Will be giving you a box of those, and then instructions on how to plant the trees, and if we have like little shrubs, because sometimes they also can secure like shrubs like lilacs or forsythia or some of those kinds of things.
Okay.
So we're working, if we may end up getting some of those. I'm not sure if we'll have some of those for the other 400, but we're going to work on trying to get 1,000.
Okay.
They will be all bagged up and ready to go, and we'll hand you one of those bags with all the goodies in it. We're allowing one per adult in the car. And so, because sometimes neighbors want a carpool that's energy efficient.
And to be honest, I will tell you, a lot of people come out to this event.
Yeah.
And there is a line. It goes quick.
First come, first serve.
It's first come, first serve. Don't get disheartened if you see the line. But I will warn you right now, the early bird gets the worm on these.
Yeah.
And so make sure, was it 9 a.m. when everything gets underway? Make sure.
9 a.m. We're going to set up about 8. We'll start setting up at 8 o'clock. 9 a.m. We'll open the lines and start handing those bags of goodies out. And we'll hand them out till they're gone or until 11 o'clock, whichever comes first. I'm sure we'll give them all out before 11.
Yeah, that usually happens.
Yes.
Especially, hopefully you get the 1,000 and not just the 600.
Yes. But we only have 500 boxes of light bulbs. So the first ones of those.
So the first 500 will get the light bulb.
Correct.
And the first hopefully 1,000.
And the thing is sometimes I believe they sometimes put 2 in a bag. So we're trying to get enough. What we'll end up doing is going to have 500.
Okay.
And what we'll end up trying to do is put 2 seedlings in every bag.
Okay.
And so that way you'll have 2 to plant, not just one little seedling, but you'll have 2 to plant. So we're going to have like bundles of 500 of everything.
Yep.
And so that's what we'll give out. So the first 500 who show up will get the bags.
Very cool.
So that's our plan.
So and this is a great way to kind of work and beautify your own yards. And a couple of free trees here for you, basically.
Correct.
Pro tips, just like you said, watch the video on how to plant it. Because one thing I've always learned about trees, if you got a $5 tree, you need a $10 hole. And that was the saying I always heard. You got to have a bigger hole.
Yeah.
But the other thing you need to think about is you're looking at these little tiny saplings.
Right.
They're going to be big trees someday.
Yes.
So where you put them is key. If you're going to put it right up next to the house, odds are pretty good you're going to have root problems and everything else.
And don't put it right under your electric line. That's going to grow right up into your power source that comes across your yard. I'm kind of scooted over a bit.
So think ahead.
Look up, look around, look down.
In 5 years from now, is that tree going to be poses a problem for any of your
Correct.
utilities or your home or
Correct.
and if the answer is yes, then maybe find a new location to plant that.
And in the bag, we're going to have a little a bundle, like a snap together or staple together bunch of flyers.
Okay.
One of them is about Keep Roswell Beautiful. It's about our program that we have that we're working on getting funding to do next year. We've actually expended the funds for this year, but there is information about it. It is the Empowering Youth Cleanup fundraiser that we do with youth groups. We're hoping to get refunded again for that, for grant money for next year. There's information about how that program works, but on the other side, it is also about our free cleanup supplies.
Yeah.
We still have those.
Yeah.
And what we do with that is if you are an individual or a community group.
Here's a bunch.
Yep. We will
Gloves and
give
bags.
you a roll. We will give you trash bags. We will give you disposable gloves.
These got the black ones here.
And for like groups that want to do bigger cleanups, we have even those kind of rubbery black gloves that you can use. We also have trash grabbers that can be borrowed.
Oh, yeah, the little
and safety vests.
Okay.
Yep. And so we have these cleanup supplies. And we can provide those. Like I have a couple of individuals, probably 3 different individuals, that they go to parks and while their kids play, they clean up the park.
Nice.
And so
what a cool idea.
Yeah. And I give them rolls of trash bags and disposable gloves and safety vests. And they can just keep those on hand. And I give them one of those really cool reusable
Works
totes.
great if you take your dog for a walk too.
Yes, absolutely. And they go out and they actually do cleanups at the parks on a regular basis.
That's great.
And they fill out like I've got like a tracking form if you want to do that too. We'd love getting those volunteer hours in because that shows where we're doing the cleanups and how much trash they're picking up.
Sure.
But even if you don't want to turn in that kind of tracking, if you just want to go out and do community cleanups, we will give you free cleanup supplies to do it with.
We appreciate your commitment and say, hey,
correct.
As a small token, let at least help you cover some of the cost of the trash removal here with some of the bags.
And with the Arbor Day, I also want to mention, Mike, one of the things we're going to try to do that day is if you want, especially just even starting right now, we've got a couple of about 2.5 weeks till Arbor Day, till the 9th, so something like that.
Yeah, March will be over next month. Scary enough.
And it's going to be April the 9th. So we're looking at about like maybe 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Start saving your bottle caps.
Yes.
Okay, these plastic bottle caps, or if you have been saving them, they can be water bottle, pop bottle, they can be medicine bottle, they can be the little plastic tubs.
Yeah, like your mayonnaise jars or the butter tops.
Correct.
Yeah. As long as it's plastic, not the metal, old school metal.
The great huge, but the smaller, no metal. Any of those bottles that have the plastic lid, start throwing those suckers in a plastic bag or in a bag of some kind. Bring them to Arbor Day if you're coming to get trees.
You're going to be collecting them there?
We're going to be collecting them there. And what we're going to do with those is we're going to get those to Main Street Roswell because they have that recycled bottle cap
the
to
bench
benches
program. It's an amazing program.
It's wonderful. If you look downtown at those amazing benches that are new, they are black and gray. They are getting enough to put one on every corner.
Yeah.
They're working hard to collect more bottle caps.
It's real practical green.
It is absolutely amazing, reclaiming, reusing.
It's really green, but it's actually something that's good, practical, and actually beneficial and better than probably the original. You know what I mean?
They're amazing. They're made out of this solid plastic. They take those lids, they get the youth groups that they are partnering with, weigh them, clean them up, pull any paper off of them and stuff, and get them sorted, put them in bags. And then Main Street Roswell has been arranging to go down, drop off, or go up, actually north, drop off the bottle caps and pick up, pay the fee for the exchange kind of fee, which is much cheaper per bench than if they bought them.
Yeah, and I think it's like they basically, I don't remember the numbers, but it's like, was it a couple 100 pounds, 200 pounds?
Yeah, several hundred pounds of bottle
one
caps
bench, basically.
equals one bench, and then they pay a recycling kind of partial payment, or like it pays, it's less than you would pay to buy those benches outright.
Sure.
But it's still, they have to pay a fee to get that done. And they take those bottle caps and give them the benches.
Yeah.
They bring them back, and then the city and Main Street work on getting those installed.
Sure. And the great thing about them is these benches, because many of their materials and stuff, they're more...
they're durable.
Yeah, they're durable, but they're also a little more graffiti resistant.
Exactly.
And
If
things
they
like
graffiti
that.
those, they're made of that solid material, same color all the way through.
Yeah.
They can literally just take a grinder, go zip, and grind it off. If they have trouble getting that washed off, If they just sand it slightly, it goes right back underneath there. It's
And
the exact same
good as
stuff.
new, yeah.
And it looks new, and they're very, very durable because they're
Yeah.
made out of that heavy solid all the way through, that melted recycled plastic. And it keeps all of this plastic out of our landfills, out of the
Absolutely.
ground. One of the things that I've been studying about, and I actually went and did a presentation at one of the schools here in town to 160 students about the environmental impact that plastics are having and about reuse, reduce, recycle. If you're interested in having me do that at your school, I can come do
Sure.
that presentation as well. I would love to schedule some things in the fall to do that
Yeah,
at your
absolutely.
school. And I was able to get some funds to do these really cool cups that I gave one of those wheat cups to all the students. Let me show that.
Here's one right here.
Yep. I gave a wheat cup and one of those shopping totes to every student who was in the flip it slightly so they can see the logo.
I thought I was in front.
There you go. Oh, you almost had it. Turn it.
I'm trying.
A little more, a little more. There you go. We give them, these are made out of wheat.
Oh, I'm looking at your camera.
They're
That's
made
what
out
it
of
is.
wheat. And so we gave one of those to every student. I love coming in and sharing with the students. Plastics do not decompose and go away. They, like a plastic bag, like a Walmart bag, or one of those shopping totes, whatever. I don't mean to say Walmart in a bad way, but like one of those shopping bags,
Sure.
those clear plastic
Yeah, the
ones.
clear disposable bag.
Those take 200 years to degenerate,
Yeah.
and they turn into something called microplastics.
Okay.
And they release the toxins back into the environment. So that all those toxins in those plastics, the straws, they take, I think they said 20 years to degenerate, and they also turn into microplastics.
Sure.
We have enough plastic straws in the United States in one day to wrap around the equator 2.5 times.
Wow.
We use that many straws in a day that are being recycled. So
And this
using-
uses the wheat, which
and
is
that
fully
uses wheat.
biodegradable.
It'll be biodegradable.
And by the way, it feels just like plastic.
It's really strong,
as durable
it's sturdy,
as
it's
plastic.
amazing.
It smells.
Yeah,
it
it's
doesn't
great.
smell. It actually it doesn't have that funky plastic smell.
No, it's wonderful stuff.
It actually it's odorless.
We're going to give one of those to every volunteer who helps at Arbor Day.
Very nice cup.
But we gave those out at the presentation that I do. But these bottle caps these bottles that are being recycled into benches, that keeps all this plastic that turns into that junky stuff from getting back into the environment and puts it into something useful. So
Nice.
bring your bottle caps.
Yeah, I love
to
that.
Arbor Day, bag up however many you have, bring them. When we get ready to hand you your little seedlings, hand us a bag of bottle caps. And then we will get those to Main Street Roswell.
And I would love to get as families, get your kids involved in that. Make it a project for them to be the collector of the bottle caps. And things.
And they're collecting these not just at Arbor Day, but if you start collecting those bottle caps, you can get them to the Chamber of Commerce, to the Visitor Center.
Reach out to
You
Main
can
Street
call
Roswell if you got a
That's
plethora
where
of
they
them.
all end
Yeah.
up. So if you want to even contact Main Street Roswell directly and get it to them directly, saves one step in passing it along.
Sure.
But if you start collecting them and aren't sure where to take them, we can make that arrangement as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
reach
we
out.
want to collect those bottle caps and get some more good benches for our downtown area.
Absolutely. Let's get
and
them.
for wherever they
Maybe
want
we
to put
get
them.
every single bench in Roswell replaced with one of those.
That'd
at
be
one time.
phenomenal.
That would be good.
That'd be phenomenal.
And it would be great too because I got a feeling those are going to be benches that are 20 years from now they're still serviceable benches.
They're
you know
pretty.
What I mean?
It's pretty impressive.
And
if you want to sponsor the placement of those or the purchase of those, contact Main Street Roswell, and you can arrange sponsoring a bench because they do have some. I think they did receive some grant funds. I don't know how much of it they've used for that.
Okay.
But they are also looking for sponsors.
Okay.
For those benches, and the city does have to place those. So that'd be great. And then also as far as sponsors with the projects within the city, because we want to get some other things in the city as well. I'm kicking off, speaking of sponsorship, that just reminded me, I'm kicking off a pet sponsorship for helping with the adoption fees at the animal services.
Animal control.
Yeah,
Okay.
that just reminded me. I'm going to put a plug in for that while I got the ears of the
Absolutely.
people
Yeah,
here.
sure.
In order for those animals to be adopted, they are required to get their vaccination shots, to be spayed or neutered, and to have a microchip.
Yes.
Those are all very good things for that.
Absolutely.
The spay or neuter keeps from having more puppies
This is
and
all
more
to
cats.
control our overpopulated
because
population.
we're already overpopulated. It keeps that animal, if they were to get lost or get out of your fence for a little while and come back with, expecting puppies or kitties, then there's more that have to be found a home for.
Yeah.
So they're required to be spayed or neutered. They need their vaccination so you don't get them home and within 2 or 3 days they get sick and
They got
die on you.
parvo or whatever,
Yep.
yeah.
They want those animals to be healthy when you get them. And they need to have a microchip so if that animal gets lost, they can get it back to you.
Yep.
So those things are required. That can be quite costly to do all at once for some people. So we want to do a donation or where people can donate to that fund to help pay for that. So that
create
people,
like a voucher for some of those folks.
Yeah, a voucher to have those things done. And then they would just pay the adoption fee, which is like $1.
Yeah.
So that will allow more people to be able to adopt those animals from the city animal services, from the animal shelter.
Sure.
So if you are interested in doing that, call me, Kathy Lay. I'm at City Hall. Call City Hall, Kathy Lay.
Sure.
We have a donation account set up.
Okay.
It does not go to city general funds.
Nice.
It goes directly to that donation
earmarked
fund.
specifically
earmarked
for
that. That's what it has to be used for.
And I imagine, too, if you walk next door and talk to the Humane Society folks, they'd be probably willing to partner with you and talk about that, getting involved with that, too. Because
yes, Humane Society, the Animal Services. We also love getting volunteers.
Either way. Yeah.
We also love getting volunteers to help within the city for different projects like Arbor Day. I need volunteers. I handle volunteerism as well. We also have people that can volunteer. The museum is looking for volunteers right now, especially. They have 4 different positions for volunteers, for docents, and for like this the second Saturday.
Yeah, when they got their free Saturdays.
For the Saturday stuff. There's 4 different things. I can send you information if you're interested in helping as a volunteer at the Roswell Museum. Let me know. I can hook you up.
And I'm telling you, especially for younger folks that maybe are wanting to pursue careers in some of these fields, this is a great way
Animal
to get
services, the zoo.
Foot in the door. Yeah.
Yes.
Learn if this is really what you want, and B, get that valuable experience. So when you if you're in the middle of your formal training for it or about to enter it, now you've got that to go with. And by the way, these could lead into career opportunities. So just say you're volunteering at the zoo or at the museum, and next thing you know, when time comes, you're one of the curators or one of the zookeepers or one of the folks that are managing things.
One of the young ladies who works out there has worked out there for many years. She knows all about the care of the animals. She does these really cool things, like sometimes when the animals have babies and the baby was rejected, she's the one that gets to take it home and bottle feed it and have this cute little wild
got her own
animal.
little zoo pets.
It's amazing. Yeah, she's done that with some of the different animals that are born there, and she's so amazing with all the animals. She started at the zoo as a volunteer.
That's amazing.
And she became exactly what you said.
The proof's in the pudding.
She became so involved in caring for those animals, loving those animals. Now she's one of our full-time employees over there and has worked there for years.
Yeah.
And that's how her career started, was by volunteering.
And to be honest, young folks, a lot of adults' careers start that way. Sometimes what you're looking for, you may not know, and then sometimes it finds you.
Yeah.
And I think opportunities like this is where it finds you. You'd be like,
I agree.
Yeah, let me volunteer. Next thing you go to the museum, and then you develop a passion for art or a passion for children or something, and that kind of steers you in the direction that your path takes, that life takes you. And that's what happens all the time. So use these opportunities to better your own self and better our community.
And sometimes even, it's not just as kids, but as adults.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's amazing. Sometimes we can find a passion with our volunteer time. And it's so fulfilling to know you're giving back to the community and making a positive difference in our community and doing something that is supporting the positive impact. We have so many different things that can be done as volunteerism and helping within the community. So contact me if you're interested in volunteering. If you're interested in sponsoring projects, like we do need park benches and gazebos out at the
if you're
new,
a business or an organization that wants to get involved,
and we need there's like the all-inclusive playground where we're looking for equipment and stuff that the kids that are sometimes even adults who are childlike in their mind need places that they can go and play safely.
So is that where they're at now? They're still kind of designing equipment and trying to find the right pieces to put in there?
Well, that's in process right now.
Gotcha. I was just curious. I hadn't heard much on that update when I was so I was kind of curious.
And they just recently did this launch of the Carpenter Park with the splash pad. There's all kinds of stuff. And you can leave a legacy in the name of a loved one. You can leave a legacy at helping with the animals, getting more animals placed in homes. If there's a certain area that you have a passion for and you'd like to participate in donating, we have donation accounts now that are available. Contact me for donations, sponsorship, for volunteerism, for Arbor Day.
Yeah.
Man, I can hook you up with all the fun stuff.
Absolutely. And get involved. And there's a lot of opportunities. Reach out to Kathy here. And, of course, we don't want to let people forget. Mark April 9th down.
April 9th.
That's going to be our big Arbor Day celebration. 9 to 11 at Cielo Grande Park.
Correct.
Over there near the
parking lot.
Near the Roswell Recreation Aquatic Center, the soccer complex, all the stuff that's over in that.
Yeah.
I always call it our actually starting to be our unofficial recreation district. It really is starting to turn that way.
It's amazing. I didn't realize how many parks there are in Roswell or how many acres. It's like hundreds of acres.
We
of
do
parks.
have a lot. For,
oh my gosh, it's amazing
size.
how much there is.
We're very blessed in some of these things. And
we are.
And we as a community need to take advantage of this stuff. So get out there and get in your parks. We got a beautiful weekend of weather coming up. Go out and explore them. Go out there, maybe, hey, if you're out walking the parks here, call Kathy and say,
I give you cleanup supplies.
Give me a couple of trash bags and a couple of those little picker things.
Listen, I'll give you a roll of trash bags, a trash grabber, some gloves.
Yeah, and we're gonna start grabbing stuff while we're hiking around and checking out the city.
A shopping tote to throw it all in.
Yeah.
A car trash. Oh, listen, I can give you a car trash container.
Yeah.
I'll put all that in a bag and give it to you. Go clean up.
Exactly. And of course, if you want to learn more, maybe, if you want to learn more about where the various opportunities to volunteer in this community are, Kathy can put you in the right direction here. And
I can.
I'm telling you, especially if you got kids or college or high school age kids or young adults, whatever, anybody, or maybe retirees,
groups, all that stuff.
But if you're thinking, I've always wanted to be with veterinary or pets, or maybe let's go put you over at the zoo and let you see if that's something you really like. And and then before you go to all the formal training and everything, and
or
find
animal
out,
services. Yeah, they do adoption events, and they need extra hands for the adoption events when they take those animals for adoption.
By the way, too, I think like we talk about volunteers and stuff. If I know the Humane Society does, and I think Animal Control does as well. If maybe you're in a position where you can't own pets, but you love pets, like you like a dog, but you don't have the yard for it, you don't, have the means to do it, come volunteer to interact with the pets. Hang out. I know, like over at Humane Society, to let them
so much.
when the weather's nice, to let them take them for a walk or just interact.
Socialize
Same with
them,
Animal Control, because the more human interaction those pets have, the higher. It increases the odds of them getting adopted.
Yeah, the engagement that that those animals have with people when they come in, and the warmth they show to people when they come in, because they feel more secure and safe. It helps them make that connection so that they're more likely to be adopted.
Because in essence, I mean, the dogs don't know exactly what's going on. They think they're in jail, basically.
Babies.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so even at the Humane Society, where where it's no kill or whatever, it's still the same. If they sit in cages, and if you sit in a cage for a long period of time, see how your personality is.
I can make them a little more antisocial.
So that's why we say this. Come in and remember, when you do adopt, you're seeing these pets at their worst. Remember that.
That's true.
When you get them home in your own environment and they learn your routines and your patterns, you're going to find out that pet is going to be eager to please and be much more. So if it seems a little standoffish or a little quiet or a little loud or rambunctious, those are probably symptoms or how the dog's dealing with the environment it's currently living. True. Think about that.
Or even kitties. That's right.
Exactly. Or they're kitty cats too. Although kitties seem a little more oblivious to that kind of thing. They're kind of like their own little world, and it's like, and they're either like, don't touch me, or come here. Come here. I want to grab you. Yeah, come here. Come over here.
Hey.
Yeah.
Come over here. Let me show you something. I got fur.
They just seem like they're immune to whatever's going on around them. Maybe I'm wrong. It just seems that way.
We have kitties. We have puppies. I love them all. I have a mule.
Yeah, you got them all. And then,
I love them all. I love animals.
Absolutely.
Love animals, love people.
They make lives a lot better for us, I think, here. But again, folks, don't forget, April 9th, Cielo Grande Park. It's our annual Arbor Day celebration. Free saplings along with the free baggies full of goodies and things like that.
Yes.
First come, first serve.
Correct.
Like I said, we got the light bulbs. That'll be the first 500.
Yep.
We got, hopefully we'll have 1,000 sapling seedlings available for everybody.
And if not, we'll put, we're going to try to put, I think what Ruben says they do, like 2 in a bag.
Yeah.
So the first 100 that come would have 2 seedlings, and the other 400 get 1.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But we'll give away all the seedlings we have.
You get them as long as we got them.
As long as we got them, we'll give them away.
9 a.m. when it gets underway. I'm telling you right now, do not wait towards later in the day, because
we will be gone.
You're going to miss out.
It'll be all gone.
It'll be a little. Get up early, get your nice little breakfast, get your protein.
And there'll be a little instructions in the thing, how to plan them, but you can also watch that video. Ruben did a great job. We've got a link to it in the Facebook under our event for the Arbor Day.
Absolutely. And that might be just good advice to anytime you're planting. Even if you decide not to get
anytime you're planting, if you're planting other trees, because it's getting to be tree season and shrub season, check out that video. Ruben tells you some of the instructions about it.
Yeah.
And he's really good. He does it like in a wheelbarrow so you can actually see what it looks like. That's the ground.
Sure.
But he tells you all these tips about planting and watering.
He seemed
and
like
all
the
that
ground
good
with
stuff.
a wheelbarrow, too.
Yep.
And by the way, don't forget the landfill and everything. If you need mulch, those kind of things, that's stuff you as citizens can go out and, people go out there and donate their trees for the chipper and then they get mulched up. If you need mulch and things, reach out to the landfill. They usually have a pile of it sitting there and you get a truck and come on by and shovel it up and take it off to your homes for planting your trees or your gardens or whatever you got coming up here in the spring.
Yep,
so.
It's really useful for that.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the best way to get a hold of you direct?
If you call, you can call the City Hall and ask for Kathy Lay. You can email me. It's k.lay, L-A-Y, at Roswell, and then the hyphen, that's that -nm.gov.
Very good.
But
And then you can look for Roswell
Facebook,
Clean Beautiful on Facebook.
If you look at Facebook, you can look for Keep Roswell Beautiful.
Keep Roswell Beautiful, not Roswell Clean Beautiful.
Keep Roswell Beautiful. And for New Mexico, not Georgia.
Yeah.
Keep Roswell Beautiful. And then you can message me there. You can find my contact information if you go to the city of Roswell and look for Keep Roswell Beautiful. Because you can actually look up roswell-nm.gov for our website.
Yeah,
and
they'll
then
take you
look for under the residents. You'll see Keep Roswell Beautiful. That has my contact information as well.
Sure.
So there's a lot of different ways you can get a hold of
so
me.
if you need bags or have any
Cleanup
questions
supplies,
about the Arbor Day event or volunteer program,
or
any of this stuff.
sponsorship, all of that stuff.
Or if you're an idea person, Kathy's always looking for ideas and things to do. Saying maybe what if the city did this program? You think that's a good idea? Let's work with me on let's get that set up.
Yeah, I will look at and
Kathy's always looking for great ideas and things like that.
Creative ideas.
Yeah.
I have some people that come in with like one of these guys that comes in on a regular basis, and he's gotten some amazing ideas that we're working on right now. Like he's talking about getting more of those toss no moss bags.
Yeah.
And getting them to there's a place that does bike rental.
Yeah.
Getting them to the bicycles to put on the handlebars of the bicycles. Places that sell bicycles, putting them on the handlebars of the bicycles so kids can put their trash in there. He's got all these ideas. I'm going, what a good idea.
Yeah.
And I can contact and maybe I can get more and we could do that. I know. So I love creative ideas.
You know what would be kind of cool, and I know this is not your pay grade, but those benches we're talking about here. I think the city should maybe get a half dozen of those and put them in like Reichman Park here is kind of a place for audience because they do live music and stuff there. And there's enough little open space. I wonder if they could put a couple of those recycle benches and make a little, almost like an audience.
A seating
for a stage,
those.
for a little band area. Because most people get a couple sit, but if you had maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 where they could seat maybe 15, 20 people to sit down on one of those benches.
That's interesting.
That'd be kind of a neat place
I think
to put
that's
some.
interesting.
And I think it'd be a good place to showcase the benches and maybe turn them into an art project and let kids kind of do artwork with the benches to kind of add to it. Kind of add to the mural and the tile work that's in that area. I think you could kind of incorporate that and let kids kind of art it up or something. I don't know.
Fun.
That might be a neat little.
That's fun. That's fun.
Anyway.
And the other park that they're looking at, as far as I think that the library is wanting to do like library park.
Yeah, very cool. Well, they got the tree of knowledge over there in that beautiful little area.
Yeah, well, the library park is that one that's on Richardson. That's down from the miniature museum.
Yeah.
It's just south of the miniature museum, and there's like a little cubby there by the Roswell Resale Emporium.
I know what you're talking about.
And that one needs some little love and TLC and stuff. Yeah, it's called Library Park, and that would be another one that might be really kind of cool. There's something like that there. Anyway, yeah.
So start collecting your caps so we can start.
Get those bottle caps to me or Main Street, our Main Street Roswell,
and bring them with you. Arbor Day if you're going to come out for the Arbor Day
if you've got bottle caps, bring them Arbor Day and I'll get them to Main Street.
Yeah, very good. Did we get it all?
I think so.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kathy.
Thank you
for all the swag. That was nice. I appreciate that.
Well, I wanted to show you what we're giving away.
Well, I'm going to use some of it. That cup, I'll use it. And I already got.
I love free stuff.
Just the other day, I was thinking my vehicle needs a trash can. I used to have one, and then when I got a new vehicle. The one I had didn't really work in there. There's just no place. Now this one I can put on the back of the seat.
I've got one on the back that I've had for years. It's not one of these toss-em-offs, but it's the same design.
Yeah.
And I have it over the headrest on the passenger side because when I'm driving, I can reach my hand back and reach it.
Right,
if I put it behind my head, it won't work. So I put it on the passenger side and I just go blip. And I do not like trash under my feet. I hate that. So that, and you don't need to throw it out, man. It makes such a mess in our environment. It's so bad for our environment.
Absolutely, yeah.
So.
Please
Please put it somewhere in your car. Call me. I'll give you one of the bags if you need one for your car.
Help you.
I'll give you one for free.
Maybe it'll organize your life and make you meet new friends when they.
Sure.
Now when they get in your car, they're like, ew. Now they won't be going ew.
It'll certainly make it more pleasant for yourself, and we deserve to do nice things for ourselves.
Yeah. If your thing smells like food wrappers and with a hint of the Christmas tree thing.
Oh, day Christmas tree.
Yeah. Maybe she get one of these cleanup bags here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kathy.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Mike.
We'll see you next time.
Okay.
All right. It is 9:51. Let's pause for local news. Your Sean Hannity update. We got Chaves County sports update and a few commercials as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Thanks for joining us. A Roswell man is being held for his 9th drunk driving offense after allegedly fleeing the scene of an accident on Monday. Jail records show 14 criminal charges against 55-year-old Ronnie Garcia. Police responded to South Meadowbrook and East Alameda for the report of a crash, but found the wrecked vehicle was abandoned. Garcia was found in a nearby field, passed out, police said. He appeared in court Wednesday to hear the charges against him. He's being held in the Chaves County Jail on a $20,000 cash bond. And the man accused of killing his girlfriend in Roswell has pleaded not guilty. 34-year-old Jorge Rico Rivera is blamed for the death of Isela Mauricio Salazar. He's also charged with child abuse for leaving the couple's child locked in their home with the mother's dead body. Rico Rivera was captured in Mexico with the couple's son, who is now with other family members. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
But the way to defeat Vladimir Putin more than any other way is to cut him off financially. The way to do that is for Europe not to import a single barrel of oil or any natural gas from Russia ever again. That's it. Now, he wants to go nuclear. If he wants to use chemical, biological weapons, then that's a whole other issue. But you can't bubble and fizz at every Vladimir Putin threat. Europe, NATO, the U.S. needs to remind Vladimir Putin, it's like the scene in Gladiator. At my command, we will unleash hell. If Putin pulls this crap, you level Moscow. Level it. If he goes there, we're going to have to do it anyway.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It'll be fair and mild today. We have high pressure settling in over eastern New Mexico. Looks like it'll hang around through the upcoming weekend. We'll be in the mid-70s on our afternoon high today. Lots of sun, clear for the overnight hours, and our low near 40. A little bit warmer on Friday. We'll hit the 80-degree mark with sunshine, and then it looks like upper 80s for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. It's early in the season still for baseball and softball, but for the Goddard baseball team, good test today at the Rio Rancho tournament. This is always a good tournament. It's called the Sal Puentes tournament. Goddard is 3-6 overall, and they'll be taking on a Valley team that's 7-6. That starts at 4 o'clock today, and that's not the only tournament action going on. You've got in softball the Lindsey Callaway tournament in Dexter with Dexter taking on Capitan. Dexter still seeking its first victory of the season. And in baseball, you've got the Sertoma Colt Classic going on in Roswell. That's NMMI's tournament. And Dexter will be playing Capitan today at 10 a.m. NMMI still undefeated, 7-0, taking on Tularosa tonight at 7 o'clock. Tularosa's 3-2. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. First-time claims for unemployment benefits dropped 28,000 to 187,000 last week. Applications falling to the lowest level since 1969. Airline industry executives appealed to President Biden to end the federal mask mandate and testing requirements for travelers. In a letter to the president, the industry leaders say the rules place a heavy burden on airline workers and, at this point, are outdated. Orders for big-ticket items, so-called durable goods, fell more than expected last month, declining 2.2%, and followed January's 1.6% decline in orders. The U.S., European Union, and the G7 imposing new sanctions on Russia, punishment for its invasion of Ukraine. The sanctions were announced at a NATO emergency summit taking place in Brussels. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Hey, this is Dr. Keon Agger at Carabelli Dental in Roswell. Our office is passionate about creating beautiful, long-lasting smiles. But here's the thing. Sometimes that means dentures, and that's not a bad thing. These aren't your grandma's dentures. We combine artistry and the latest technology to create beautiful, natural-looking teeth. If you are in southeastern New Mexico and you have dentures or are considering dentures, you need to come visit us at Carabelli Dental.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 622-4455. There's a whole universe out there. Come explore at the International UFO Museum and Research Center, featuring engaging exhibits and in-depth first-hand accounts of the incident that put Roswell on the map. The research library features the most comprehensive collection of UFO research materials in the world, and you can get exclusive one-of-a-kind gifts and merch from the gift shop or online at RoswellUFOmuseum.com. Don't forget about the UFO Festival, July 1st through 3rd, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Roswell incident. The International UFO Museum and Research Center. It's otherworldly.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
And that's going to do it for us. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an awesome day. We'll be back